Hello and welcome back to the Exponential. My name is RSquared, and today we are commentating as the Buffalo Bills here in snowy Western New York get set to take on the Christian McCaffrey-led San Francisco 49ers. The 9-2 Buffalo Bills come into this one with a chance to clinch the underwhelming division that is the AFC East. As a Dolphins fan, I would know. They're in a division with the Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots, and the Dolphins just suffered a tough loss to Green Bay this Thursday, bringing their win count to 5 and their loss count to 7. But that still makes them the second best team, only to the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East. The Bills have a good chance to shut down this division race and clinch the playoffs with a win today, becoming the second team to do so, Kansas City being the other. Buffalo has already beaten Kansas City in this season, coming off of a big win. The Bills are on fire coming into this one here in snowy New York. And I mean, hopefully that fire will help warm them up here because it is cold in Buffalo at the moment. It is very frigid. It is an ice game. It's not even going to go as far as a snow game because, my friends, what a way to kick off December. December the 1st, it's Sunday night, and we have a snow game, folks. Not even a snow game. It's an ice game. I'm already in the Christmas spirit. If you don't know, I don't know who you are if you're not, because I'm wearing green. I got red in the background. We're ready for Christmas time. Everyone's ready for Christmas time, especially in Western New York, where Christmas could come early as the Buffalo Bills have a chance to clinch the AFC East. As for the other side, the San Francisco 49ers are struggling to stay afloat here in this game against Buffalo with a tough upcoming schedule against divisional opponents such as the Rams and Cardinals to close out their schedule. Then this game against the Bills, they also have tough teams and high-scoring offenses such as the Bears, the Dolphins, and the Lions. As the stretch goes on, the San Francisco 49ers need a win here. Last week, they struggled without quarterback Brock Purdy, who was sent to the injured list for Green Bay, where they got thoroughly shut out by one of their biggest rivals, the Green Bay Packers, who finally got the much-deserved win they needed over San Francisco. Now the 49ers are coming into this one in need of a little bit of a pick-me-up after losing their last two games to Seattle and Green Bay individually. The 49ers really need a win here because guess who else came up with wins today? That's right, the Seattle Seahawks boosted up their record over to 7-5. The Arizona Cardinals did suffer a loss, giving San Francisco a chance to have a three-way tie for last place in the NFC West, or second place for that matter. The Rams managed to pull away their game against the Saints to tie themselves up with the Cardinals. If the 49ers manage to somehow pull away with a win here against the Bills, then we'll have a three-way tie in the NFC West with the Seahawks riding one game above the rest on the top of the .583% win percentage. Seattle has just been playing harder than the rest of the division. They've wanted it more than anyone else. San Francisco needs to fight for their right to make the playoffs here in this one. And this is a huge start to the game. They have to play they've had to play all the AFC East so far. The record against the AFC East this year is 2-0. Can they keep that streak alive? They beat the Patriots in a swift fashion, 30-13, along with dismantling the Jets in week 1 of the NFL season way back on Monday Night Football, and now they're here against Buffalo before closing their AFC trip in Miami against the Dolphins. The 49ers are traveling from Pacific all the way to the Eastern time zones. We'll see how they've done in this travel so far this year. The only times that they've had to travel all the way east to the Eastern time zone has been once, and that was to Tampa Bay. They came out with a 3-point win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that one. But things are a little different because that game was in Florida. And in Florida, things are much warmer than in upstate New York, as Buffalo is set for 22 degrees and snowy to kick off December. It's going to be a really good matchup. If San Francisco can get the run game going, honestly, I think if San Francisco wants to win this game, they're going to have to be better in the trenches. They're going to need to run the ball right down Buffalo's defensive line's throat. I mean, you can't really rely too much on your passing game. Brock Purdy coming off an injury. I'm pretty sure he is active for this one, although I'll get the all clear once the game does, in fact, begin. But Brock Purdy definitely is going to want to try and hand the ball off much more than usual. They're without Trent Williams in this one protecting the quarterback, so just give it to Christian McCaffrey, try to get to the outside, try to win in the trenches. And as for stopping the Buffalo Bills, do not let Josh Allen get out of the pocket. That's a big one. Thankfully, you have Nick Bosa to help with that. And the other thing is that as of late, once the running back for the Buffalo Bills, James Cook, starts to get going, there hasn't been much stopping him. Thankfully, the Bills are missing a big threat in their tight end game in Dalton Kincaid, but they still have Dawson Knox, the other big tight end. So that tight end threat is still there for the Buffalo Bills. But the Bills on defense are also missing three key pieces. Well, two key pieces and one guy I don't know. They're missing Edofuan Olofosio, who will be inactive, thankfully. So I don't have to say his name over and over again every time he makes a tackle on this one. He's also without Javon Solomon for the Buffalo Bills. I'm pretty sure he's just the third string. But more importantly, they're missing cornerback Khair Elam. Khair Elam was opposite of some of the Buffalo Bills secondary is great up there with Christian Benford and Russell Douglas and Cam Lewis. They're missing that fourth piece there, which means we'll have to see a bit of a step up, likely from Jamarcus Ingram or Brandon Cudrington. We'll see some interesting defensive schemes coming up for Buffalo. You might see them having more linebackers on the field than usual. They might drop a safety a little lower. Perhaps this is a chance for San Francisco to get going with those deep plays. We are moments away from kickoff here in Western New York, as the Buffalo Bills are the heavy favorites coming into this one. The stat line is under 6.5 in this one for the Buffalo Bills, while the San Francisco 49ers aren't even close to favored. But this is Sunday Night Football, and it's a snow game. It's December football, so anything can happen, really. The field is coated with ice. The Buffalo Bills actually sent a help message to their fans to try and get them to shovel snow. It was Bring Your Own Shovel Day in Western New York yesterday. The snow is falling, and I have a feeling we're going to have a white field by the end of this one. It's barely green as it is. Brock Purdy does have the start for the San Francisco 49ers in this one. It is going to be quite the blizzard coming down in Buffalo. Anything can happen. Don't be surprised if San Francisco can pull off the upset here. I know it's definitely going to be an interesting game. However, San Francisco is missing a few key parts of their defense as well. They're missing defensive tackle Jordan Elliott, but more importantly, they're missing linebacker Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, who's done a fantastic job plugging the holes of the run game, and without him, maybe James Cook can get some leverage there. And then they're also missing cornerback Diamador Lenore, who's been huge as far as interceptions goes. He's done a great job all around of just lockdown covering. They're going to miss him today against Buffalo because they're going to have to rely on some of their other secondary members. They're also missing offensive tackle Trent Williams, as I said earlier, so Brock Purdy will be lacking just a bit of protection in the passing game, along with Christian McCaffrey probably having to get a little bit creative to try and figure out how San Francisco can win this. So in this snow game, Buffalo sent out a warning message to their fans that says, bring your own shovel, folks. You want to bring your own shovel to Western New York, you get to come on the field, and we will pay you $20 every hour to shovel snow off the field and shovel snow out of the stadium. And indeed, they did, because it is ready here from Highmark Stadium, and the Buffalo Bills are getting ready. It's Doug Flutie! Flouty. Former Buffalo Bills quarterback, along with Billy the Bison. Don't ask. I know it's not a Buffalo or a Bill for that matter. As Doug Flutie will attempt to pump up the crowd and get the fire roaring here in the blizzard that is Western New York today. We've seen some snow games this year. We saw a kind of sort of one this Thursday in Thanksgiving as the warm-blooded Miami Dolphins headed to face the very much snake-like, cold-blooded Green Bay Packers. And we're already seeing some traction issues as Jake Moody, the 49ers won the toss and they have elected to defer, is having issues getting the ball to stand on the post. And he will get it to stick. And so here comes the kickoff. The kick returners for the Buffalo Bills are Brandon Covington and Ray Davis. Ray Davis has carried the majority of the responsibilities in the kick return game for Buffalo. Here comes the kick, and we are officially underway in snowy Buffalo, New York. And here comes the return, and it'll go about to the 20-yard line where he'll be met by a wall of 49er. And the goldrush came early for him there. And out comes one of the front runners for the MVP award. It's Josh Allen, having one of his record years. Even as a Dolphins fan, I have to remind you that Josh Allen is very much so one of the best quarterbacks to play this game. I've never seen a quarterback dominate this many different teams on the level that Josh Allen has over the years. They're going through their roster right now. I totally missed it, but I will get there when I get there. We're just going to call out their names. We've done a Bills game before. Shouldn't be anything new for us. 1st and 10 for the Buffalo Bills. And it'll be a screen towards Khalil Shakir, and Shakir will backtrack. He might lose a yard on the screen. Sam Fran was quick to blow that one up. So number 10 is Khalil Shakir. Josh Allen on the year, completion percentage 64%. His pass yards per game is 231 pass yards per game. He's got 23 total touchdowns. He's got 5 interceptions, all of which have come in the last 4 games. So his accuracy has definitely lowered as the season's gotten closer to December. But at the beginning of the year there, he was a near perfect quarterback, and everyone knows that can't last forever. We have Shakir in motion. Allen will hand it off to James Cook. Cook's not going to get anywhere. That'll be a gain of 1 or 2 on the play. San Fran's defense holding strong early on in this one. That'll be a 2-yard gain for James Cook. 3rd and long coming up for Buffalo to open up this game. We see the snow still coming down hard here in New York, even though it may not look like it from some angles. I have a feeling that this is going to be covered in powdered snow by the end of this game, and we're going to see some snow angels if there's any touchdowns scored. If you can even see the end zone. 3rd and 8 coming up for Buffalo. They have, I believe that's their, a bad false start. Bad false start on Dawson Knox there, the tight end. Who is number 26 of the Buffalo Bills? I feel like I had this trouble last time as well. I'm guessing that's Ty Johnson. That is, in fact, Ty Johnson. I just got to trust my gut with this stuff. Hello. 13:35 to go here in the first quarter, 3rd and even longer after Dawson Knox practically started running his route before the ball was even snapped. 3rd and 13 for the Bills on their opening drive. Allen takes the snap. He'll drop back to pass as expected. Allen looks deep. He'll dump it off to Johnson. Johnson on the screen gets 5, and he'll become just 3 yards shy. Whoa, and a little bit of aftermath there to the end of that one as 49ers player kind of rushed over, and they will get the stop. It's Fred Warner, the linebacker, who, if anyone plays Madden, I'm pretty sure he's an X Factor, and he has been such an X Factor for the 49ers this year as far as stopping those plays. He was so far away. He made the chase down from 10 yards out, and he nailed Johnson on the sideline. Beautiful hit there. So San Francisco will get Buffalo to go 3 and out to open up this snow game. So Sam Martin will punt it away. It's the rookie Jacob Cohen out of Arizona who will be returning this punt. Martin will punt it away. It's a better one than Cohen was expected. It's a really good punt. After the 35 is where it'll be fielded. He breaks a couple tackles, and he'll get out to about the 37-yard line. I said 35. He fielded it at the 25, and he'll get out to the 35-yard line. Out comes Brock Purdy alongside running back Christian McCaffrey, a huge part of this game. Fullback Kyle Juszczyk, one of the best in the game. Juwan Jennings at wide receiver, along with Deebo Samuel Sr., the speedster. Tight end George Kittle. Left tackle Jalon Moore. Left guard Ben Barch. Center Jake Brendel. Right guard Dominic Pooney. And right tackle Colton Mikovits. Brandon Ayuk is on injured reserve for the San Francisco 49ers with a knee injury. They're missing him quite a bit. And, of course, guard Aaron Banks. So they're missing 2 big members of this offensive line with Trent Williams and Aaron Banks alongside the threat that is Brandon Ayuk for the rest of the year. We'll see if San Fran can get things working. Oh, and the ice slippery early as Juwan Jennings slips as he tries to go in motion. Brock Purdy throws up the middle. It's Kittle, I believe, and Kittle will get a nice little gain of 6 on the play. 6 or 7. Brock Purdy's got a 66% completion percentage, 261 yards per game. He's 3rd in the NFL on that matter. He's a 13-8 touchdown to interception ratio. Not fantastic, but a 95.9 quarterback rating, which is exceptional. He's been really good for the 49ers as far as dual threat goes. No one expected him to have that rushing capability, but he's been pretty good as far as just general play has gone. He's definitely improved. Deebo Samuel, Juwan Jennings slips again. Might need to change your cleats there. But the handoff goes to McCaffrey, who'll get about 2 yards. He'll bring up 3rd and 1 on the play. So the 49ers try to avoid their own 3 and out as the snow starts to get a little harder here in Western New York, if that was possible. 11:25 to go here in the first quarter. 3rd and 1. Honestly, it might just be solid to just hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey or perhaps Kyle Juszczyk, but Kyle Shanahan might be looking for a little more action on this opening drive for San Francisco. 3rd and 1. It'll be just a handoff. It's to Jordan Mason, I believe, and Mason has a nice hole to get about 6 or 7 on the play. That'll go for a first down. Oh, that was not Mason. That was Christian McCaffrey. You give a tan. So Christian McCaffrey gets about 7 yards on the run. He slips right in between his offensive linemen to get some nice gain there. And at the rate that we're at, we'll be in 3 to 4 inches of snow by the end of the first quarter, as it is coming down here in Buffalo. 10:30 to go here in the first quarter. Juszczyk in motion. It's a shovel to McCaffrey. McCaffrey's got a hole. McCaffrey gets a nice 12 yards. He's still on his feet. He'll get to the Buffalo 30-yard line. What a run by Christian McCaffrey. A solid 20 yards on the play. So San Fran starting to put together to a drive. As I said, they're winning in the trenches so far in this one. Handing the ball off to Christian McCaffrey, and he just does the rest. A nice little shovel, nice little design. Great job by the O-line just paving a way for him, really. I mean, the offensive line separated the defense. DeMar Hamlin missing a tackle and him shaking off Rasul Douglas. Good job there by Christian McCaffrey. He'll take a rest. Now Juszczyk in motion. Purdy under center. Kittle in motion. It'll be a fake handoff, and then he'll actually go to the handoff to Mason, and Mason gets a nice little run for about 11 yards. That one was Jordan Mason. It was a play action. It looked almost like a hesitation. He faked it to Juszczyk, and then he gives it to Mason. It was a nice little delayed handoff, which did the trick, fooled the Buffalo defense, and then Mason showing off some of that impressive speed and agility to get the first down there. Good, strong run. So it's running so far from San Francisco. Their O-line is doing the work. Seems like Kyle Shanahan's paying attention. George Kittle in motion again. Handoff to Mason. He'll get about 2 yards on that one. Not happening that time for Jordan Mason. That was Christian McCaffrey. What? The red zone offense for the San Francisco 49ers, they had a 67% in 2023. They led the NFL. They have a 50% red zone offense this year, which is the 5th lowest in the NFL. They have to focus on scoring once they get into the red zone. Don't be like the Baltimore Ravens earlier today and you leave it up in the hands of your own Justin Tucker, who missed six kicks. It wasn't 6, but it was pretty close. Brock Purdy to McCaffrey on the screen. McCaffrey will get only about 2 or 3 on the play. Brings up 3rd and mid coming up for San Francisco. Regardless, it's been a nice start to this game for San Francisco. I can barely tell what yard marker they're at. It is snowing so hard. Christian McCaffrey looked like he was shaking off the snow off his head just from being on the ground. I do see the end zone there about 15 to 20 yards out. It is, wow, I mean, this is going to be bad once the snow starts to get a little harder as the night goes on. We still have 3 quarters. We're only 8 minutes into this game, and there's already a pretty thick sheet of snow on Highmark Stadium's field. Purdy drops back to pass, throws underneath. McCaffrey wasn't ready for it. Incomplete, heading towards McCaffrey. And that'll bring up 4th and 7. So the 49ers can't come up with a touchdown on their opening drive, but they will get the first points of the game. McCaffrey slipped out relatively unnoticed by the Bills defense. He sat right in the zone. It's just a bad throw by Purdy, almost like the ball slipped out of his hands. Yeah, that was a bad throw. That was all on Brock Purdy. Christian McCaffrey, he had McCaffrey. That would have gone for an easy first down. So the 33-yard field goal attempt from Jake Moody is good snap, good hold, and the kick is solid even through the snow. 7:41 to go here in the first quarter. 49ers strike first, up 3-0. Both teams have one drive. The Bills offense coming up next after their first 3-and-out. It is crazy. I do love snow games. As much as I love Miami games, snow games, incredible. So what am I saying? Miami games are awful. Hard Rock Stadium. Those who have been to Hard Rock Stadium would know that it's a beautiful stadium. Awful parking. Parking's absolute garbage. The field's beautiful at Hard Rock. Like, looking up from the field is amazing. Depends where you're sitting as far as the seats. And then the tailgating's a little limited, but the big issue is kind of the parking, because it's like, if you want to get there at enough time, because you don't want to get there always at 6 a.m. if you're going for the 8 o'clock, if you're going for Sunday Night Football, you don't always want to get there that early, which is kind of what you have to do to get good parking. And then you have to pay for the parking, of course. But really, you have to park in the weirdest places. Weirdest places to get into Hard Rock Stadium in a viable time. Like, say you get there at 6 ahead of the 8:15 game. You park about 20 minutes away, 20 minutes walk away from the stadium, even though it feels like so much longer because of the amount of times you have to cross the street. But ultimately, Hard Rock Stadium is a beautiful stadium. But the parking is annoying. The games better be worth it. I mean, the Dolphins never win when I go. I think I've seen like maybe 3. I've been to like almost, I think I have been to about 10 Dolphins games, and I've only seen them win like 2 or 3 times. They don't tend to win a lot when we're there. My favorite one had to be this Buffalo one that we went to, the one that determined the winner of the AFC East. I was at that game. And the Bills just, I mean, it was ridiculous because the entire, like there was like Dolphins fan behind us and Bills fans in front of us. I mean, it was fun to see that contrast between the two. But my favorite part had to be that the Dolphins kept using the same run play and just listening to the entire section behind us going, that's the same play. They just kept doing the same little trickeration thing in the backfield, handing it off to H and going to the left side. It was the most ridiculous play ever. And of course, the Bills Mafia shows up for tailgating, shirts off, because it doesn't matter if it's 22 degrees and snowing. It's still the Bills Mafia, no matter what the weather. They're going to have their shirts off. That's just how it works. And already the snow is really piling up. You see them plowed the yard markers during the commercial break. They just sent a plower through them. But it is getting to a nice level of snow that players are going to be buried by the end of this game. Like, it is a full-on blizzard in Buffalo. And it's a muffed punt, a muffed kickoff, should I say, and thankfully they'll recover with a knee. There's a beach ball. I was distracted by the beach ball. I'm like, it's muffed, but there's a beach ball. But they do get the touchback. San Francisco defense, a lot of mediocre defensive ends. Linebacker Fred Warner highlighting the way there. Devondre Campbell Sr., Charvarius Ward, the head cornerback on the team. Jair Brown, Malik Mustafa, Renardo Green. So these are a lot. This is a young defense, not super experienced. They're really led by Nick Bosa and, of course, Fred Warner. They're without Talanoa Hufanga, Javon Hergrave, Dre Greenlaw, Diamador Lenore, and Nick Bosa, apparently, so he's not here either. And they're all injured ahead of this one. Handoff to... I want to say I Ty Johnson or Ray Davis. It's one of the two of them. I believe it's Ray Davis. It is Ray Davis. He'll get nothing. As the pile moves 2nd and 10, maybe 2nd and 9, depending on the spot. 2nd and 9, 7:20 to go here in the first quarter. San Francisco is doing a great job in the trenches so far. They're really doing a great job stuffing the run. They're running effectively. That's how you got to beat this Buffalo team. Definitely need to score when you're in the red zone, though. That's the way to win this one. Khalil Shakir in motion. Expect a pass. The 49ers change their script just a bit. Allen under pressure. Allen having to avoid 2 defenders after a great scheme and a big man coming for Allen. And Allen tries to drop one right into the breadbasket of his receiver Khalil Shakir, but it is dropped. I mean, a beautiful throw. I'm surprised he managed to get that out. I believe he took a shot at the end of that one as well. But the ball seemed to go through Shakir's hands. That ball could not have been placed more perfectly. I mean, in the snow, in the weather, he had a nice spin, and he put that in Shakir's hands. That needed to be caught. Good job by the defender, though. But that was a beautiful throw. I mean, credit where credit is due. 3rd and 9. Still seeing the beach ball. 6:50 to go here in the first quarter. Slipping is Curtis Samuel as he tries to go in motion here in the snow. That'll be a problem. Allen looks deep. He throws and he overthrows Shakir, but there are numerous laundry on the field. That'll be pass interference. And that'll keep the Bills drive alive for their first down of the game. 6:44 to go. So we get a look at our referees for the day. It is, they're calling pass interference, yeah. Or was that they might have called illegal contact. Yeah, it was illegal contact. I was going to say, it looked a little high. It was a bad throw by Allen. So yeah, it was illegal contact on Travarius Ward. It does give him the first down, however. Let's see it. Yeah. No, yeah, he did it. It's kind of like how most penalties are like, oh, come on, that wasn't it. And then you watch, oh, yeah, well, he kind of did it. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. It's Buffalo. Be surprised that I can see what yard line they're on. And the handoff goes to Ty Johnson, and Johnson has a nice carry of 9 yards. They can't let this running game get going for Buffalo. San Francisco has to do a good job of plugging the gaps. That was a huge hole there. This should be Fred Warner's job and strictly Fred Warner's job. Ty Johnson, in 2024, he's got 32 touches for 124 rush yards, 106 receiving yards, and 3 total touchdowns. He's been around on this Buffalo offense with holding different roles for the Bills. 2nd and 2, they only give him 8. It looked like 9, but they'll mark him just short of the 9-yard marker. They're at the 44-yard line. 49ers show blitz. Hand off to James Cook, who might get the 2 yards there. And Leonard Floyd gets into it a little with one of the offensive linemen for Buffalo before the ref quickly separates them. Let me go see if I can find who our refereeing crew is for this game. Got to give some respect for the refs. They're doing such a good job. It's Alex Kemp's crew. So Alex Kemp, of course, getting assigned on all these good games. They don't give him it, but on 3rd and 1, Josh Allen just quarterback sneaks it, and he'll easily get about 3 yards and a first down to keep the Bills drive rolling. 1st and 10. Coming up for Buffalo at the Buffalo 47-yard line. They kind of did their own version of the brotherly shove there, but just not nearly as effective and more about Josh Allen just being a big, fast dude than James Cook. Like, they had Cook there. They had the old lineman there to push him if needed, but ultimately it was just kind of Josh Allen doing what Josh Allen does. And the logo at midfield is almost completely coated in snow. Josh Allen will throw. He drops back pretty deep. He looks deep, and he'll dump short to the tight end, I believe. And I can't even see because he's covered in snow. What's his name? He's covered in snow. It's Quentin Morris. I did not know that. Quentin Morris in his 3rd season out of Bowling Green. He's not even like a top tight end of any sorts, but that was a nice little – he was open. Allen did a nice job of fitting it in there to Morris. Morris, I feel like, has been primarily a blocker, but he whiffed on his block, so he runs a route like you're supposed to. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Samuel in motion. Hand off to Cook, and he's wrapped up. Guess who? Oh, wait. I was going to say guess who, but it's not. It's Campbell. I thought it was Fred Warner. No. Yeah. Fred Warner is a huge player in this game. His job is strictly A, scout the quarterback, make sure he doesn't get out of the pocket, and then B is keeping that run game contained. Because as much as he is more of a secondary linebacker, he likes to stay back, but Fred Warner's watching him in this one. 2nd and 14 from the 42-yard line after that loss of 4 on the great blow-up by San Francisco. They only rush 3 as one of them slips, and it's a quick throw to Shakir, who Shakir won't go down and then finally is taken down after a nice gain of 8. It'll be 3rd and 6 coming up for the Bills. I picked Buffalo to win this game. Not too surprising. As much as I would love to see San Francisco win. And yeah, one of the D linemen just slipped and fell. Like, he tries to get the early start and he just slips right on the snow, face plants. And the 49ers don't get the rush they needed to stop Josh Allen from making a play there. 3rd and 6 coming up for Buffalo. Allen drops back, and he'll take it himself. It's a designed run, and Josh Allen won't even get close. Good job by the 49ers defense keeping him contained. Oh, he did get the first down. My bad. Man, it is really hard to tell with the snow. This might happen a lot today. I blame it on the snow. I can't even – there was like – you can't even see the imaginary yellow marker in all this snow. So far, it seems like they've had one particular guy who's been watching the run game and watching Josh Allen hurt after that one. Uh-oh. His left wrist seemed to be in a bit of pain after that one. It's a shovel to James Cook as they try to keep the tempo up, and James Cook is absolutely nailed by like a jet engine that came from the secondary to come and get a hit on him. So Devondre Campbell has been the one who's kind of been scouting out this Bills offense so far as the running game goes. I was expecting Fred Warner to be following him around, but I guess they're sticking to where their strong suits go, having Warner sit back a little and having Campbell go after the quarterback should the need be. Allen under center. We'll see how that wrist bothers him a little, as Campbell might have jammed his wrist in a little. It's another shovel to Ty Johnson as they try to get the first down, and Johnson will come just a yard short. And wow, these 49ers defenders are not going easy on them as far as the hits goes. Josh Allen still rubbing his left wrist. This could be bad as far as handling the ball goes. Notice how the last few runs have been shovels. They have not been direct handoffs. That could have something to do with his injured wrist. The snow is coming down here in Buffalo. It is crazy. And Brock Purdy, you can tell, he is soaked because snow is just rain. He's dripping wet on the sideline. 3rd and 1. And it'll likely be a handoff, and it will be to Johnson. Johnson as a whole. It's Ray Davis, actually, and Ray Davis breaks a few tackles to get to the 5-yard line. A nice run by Ray Davis for 13 yards. Math is awful today. Great job by the O-line. They saw Warner coming in to try and make the stop, and Davis just made a really good cut. Avoiding the best players is often a solid way to get yards. It's like when you're playing the Steelers, you're going to want to avoid TJ Watt. You're going to want to run the opposite direction. And they did that with Fred Warner just then. 1st and goal from the 5. Allen under center. Davis in the backfield. Handoff goes to Ray Davis again. Ray Davis cuts the corner. Touchdown, Buffalo! Ray Davis. And the Bills are on the end zone first. It's a snowball fight in Western New York as the Bills fans are doing what they do best in a snowstorm. They chuck snow into the air. That's the best celebration. My favorite one had to be when they started chucking snowballs at people and it delayed the game. So Ray Davis, just a great play call. He just outspeeds number 7 to the edge. I think that's Yayadam. Is that his name? In 1 second to double check who he outsped. It's Charvarius Ward. And the extra point from Tyler Bass is good. 7-3 with 3 seconds to go in the first quarter. The Buffalo Bills up by 4 early. Nice drive by Buffalo. Josh Allen a little bit shaken up. We'll hope that left wrist of his is okay. He was handing it off a bit awkwardly on that one, so he'll definitely get that checked out before he takes the field again. It didn't look awful, but we'll definitely have to see how he manages to keep the handoffs going. Because his left hand, it's not his throwing hand, thankfully. Otherwise, it would be much more catastrophic, but he definitely has to be more careful about handoffs and taking snaps. It's not a great injury to have for a quarterback, a wrist injury. And they are yet again plowing the yard markers here at Highmark Stadium. The temperature is 30 degrees, feels like 20 degrees with winds of up to 10 miles per hour, and it's snowing pretty badly. And don't we just love a blizzard? We love a blizzard. I never picked the blizzard games. Good news is that this one is a blizzard game, and I'm not sure, but I think next week is also a blizzard game. Nope. So close. Not even the week after that. Man, why can't the Packers play a home game? No. Because that's where we're going next week. That's right, on Thursday Night Football, just a few days from now, we're heading to Detroit as the Lions take on the Green Bay Packers in a potentially big-time matchup between the division rivals. This will be taken out to about the 25-yard line, and that'll end the first quarter. The Bills lead by 4, 7-3. Second quarter coming up, as is the San Francisco offense here in blizzardy Western New York. It has been quite the start to this game. Mostly fun because of the snow. We do love snow games. Personally, I'm a big fan of snow games. I haven't seen a whole lot of snow. I live in Europe, and I don't see a whole lot of snow. Not nearly enough as I should. I've seen snow, I think, 3 or 4 times as of just recently because it snowed in mid-November over here. I'm like, what's going on? Meanwhile, over here now it's like heat wave coming in. So it's not particularly chilly over here at the moment. Hello. But it snowed in mid-November, and then the temperature hasn't even been below 40 basically Fahrenheit before we've in this later half of November. And even today, not all that cold, pretty lukewarm temperatures. I've resorted to talking about the weather during commercial breaks. So this one it's been fun. Ray Davis made some nice plays. We're definitely concerned about Josh Allen's health after that wrist injury that he seems to have suffered. We'll hope that he's okay for this one. It's a bad injury because it doesn't seem like it could be too bad, but it's very important for a quarterback because he got the handoff hand, and that's his left hand. And even when he takes the snap, he primarily holds it with his left hand before shifting to his right hand. It's not a great injury to have. He'll definitely either have to switch his style of play or hope that he's okay to go as far as handling with his left hand. We'll see. Who's my favorite football team? I am a Miami Dolphin fan, but because that's terrifying, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Yeah, I'm a Dolphins fan, but I call myself an Eagles fan for fun sometimes. Even though people notice that I have absolutely zero Philadelphia Eagles merchandise, but that's just because no one will buy me any. But no, I'm a Miami Dolphin fan. It's tough. I'm commentating on the game that could kick Miami out of the AFC East race, which they basically already are. But this is the best game that, in my opinion, was on at the time that I picked the games. So Buffalo, nice. So I picked Buffalo to win this one, so we are taking the Bills. Oh, is that their new stadium? I think that is the new the under construction stadium of the Buffalo Bills, where their home should be soon, because Highmark Stadium is, quite frankly, a dumpster. 1st and 10 coming up for San Francisco. Purdy will start under center, McCaffrey in the backfield. Juszczyk in motion, and it'll be an obvious pass. Juszczyk kind of gave it away for me. It's a screen to McCaffrey, nicely set up. He'll get about 10 yards, and they'll give him 12. 1st down, San Francisco. Good start to this drive, going nice and simple. Jump off to McCaffrey, and McCaffrey making things happen. You see McCaffrey kicking back the snow so that he doesn't slip when the play starts. He's got a little bit of strategy to these snow games, even though he's never really been in a cold weather climate, Carolina, and then San Francisco. But he's faced his fair share of cold teams. He's got a strategy. He's a veteran presence on this team. Deebo Samuel in motion, handoff to McCaffrey again. McCaffrey's got a nice little hole, and McCaffrey will go for 14 yards on a little bit of eye candy from Deebo Samuel. It's had the defense looking. Speaking of the defense, A.J. Epinesa, Ed Oliver on the defensive line, along with Daquan Jones and Gregory Rousseau. Linebacker unit features Matt Milano coming back from injury, Terrell Bernard, cornerback, Russell Douglas, Teron Johnson, safeties Taylor Rapp, Damar Hamlin, and of course another cornerback, the nickel corner, Christian Benford. Benford's basically a linebacker the way he plays, though. He's a fantastic player who just seems to make things happen. Bills defense are the 3rd worst in rushing yards. Yeah, and it's the way to win. It's the way to win. You just hand it out. Oh, and they go for a pass. And for once, A.J. Epinesa pierces through, and Purdy's just going to run it himself. He'll take up 3 yards as A.J. Epinesa completely blew that play up. That's why you got to run the ball. I mean, Purdy may be injured, but that's not the only reason why they're doing this, because this is the way you beat this Buffalo team. Is the team that wins this game is going to be the team that wins in the trenches. When it comes down to it, it's going to be the team that runs the ball the best, the team with the best offensive line work, and the team that can stop the run the best. If you hit all 3 so far, I would say that the team that's been running the ball the best has been San Francisco, although Buffalo had a nice drive there at the latter half of their second drive, which kind of got them down into the right area thanks to Ray Davis. Speaking of, it's a handoff to McCaffrey. McCaffrey's got a gaping hole, and he's just caught at the last moment as Christian McCaffrey very nearly had a touchdown there, tripped up by the ankles. Oh, what a hole. And Christian McCaffrey turns on the speed as he just cuts perfectly through, and he's just barely caught by No, that's not Damar. That's Taylor Rapp saving the touchdown, grabbing him by the ankles. So someone needs to give that man a trophy just for taking Christian McCaffrey down there. This game could have easily be 10-7 right after that one. Purdy's got Samuel and Mason by his side. Handoff goes to Mason, who's blown up by Rasul Douglas. And Rasul Douglas says, "You're not running the ball on us." Not with that guy, at least. And that was a miserable fail by the San Francisco running back. Just bad play call. They didn't really see Douglas coming in on the blitz there. He read that like a book, and a great tackle. And I mean, if he wasn't there, Von Miller was there. 2nd and 14 on the loss of 4 for San Francisco. Rasul Douglas, since joining Buffalo after the trade deadline last year, has 4 interceptions, which leads the team. 2nd and 14 from about the 34.5-yard line of Buffalo. San Francisco. Purdy drops back to pass. Under pressure, a pump fake before rolling out. Under pressure, he throws. He's hit as he throws, and it's intercepted by Damar Hamlin. There is a flag. We'll see what it is, but that was a reckless throw by Brock Purdy. I'm not sure what he was thinking there. This flag has to be on the defense. Otherwise, this might be the most embarrassing throw of his career. I'm going to try to leave. It's illegal contact on Damar Hamlin. Okay. That is why he threw it there, because that was an awful, awful decision by Purdy. Honestly, it might have been better to just throw it away. Yeah, all right. I can see the illegal contact there. So 1st and 10 for San Francisco after the illegal contact on Damar Hamlin. Kyle Shanahan looking a little cold here in Western New York, but I mean, who isn't? 1st and 10 for San Francisco. 30-yard line after the only 5 yards. Something happened there. Something bad happened to Christian McCaffrey on that one. That is not a good look. He simply just fell down in the backfield. He took the shovel, and then he just, something popped, and he just slides. Ooh. Oh, I think I saw it too. That's not good for San Francisco. He'll head straight into the blue medical tent. He knew something was wrong. 2nd and 15. So much for that strategy of handing the ball off to Christian McCaffrey. Purdy looks, and there's going to be a flag pre-snap. Delay a game on San Francisco. I wasn't paying attention. Too busy concerned over Christian McCaffrey, as are many. I mean, I didn't have a great view of it, but in all fairness, it looked like something ruptured in his leg. It looked like it might have been a hamstring injury. Kind of the way he fell. Could have been that. It also could have been Achilles based on where I think the location was, which is not good for Christian McCaffrey. Could just be a re-aggravation of a previous injury. Von Miller coming in on the blitz. Purdy forced to throw. Who gets it to Deebo Samuel. Not a great gain. Can't exactly see how much because of the snow. So I have my resident fact checker. I'll let you know as soon as I have the answer to that. I'll go for 6 yards, and that's all. So 3rd and 14. At this point, you might just want to get a few extra yards to make the field goal a tad bit more manageable. Deebo Samuel's 3.4 receptions per game, which is a career low for him. He's just not been getting the production that he needs as far as this season has gone. I saw something thrown onto the Bills sideline. It'll be a handoff to Mason. They did take my advice. That'll get him to about the 26.5-yard line. So San Fran will settle for the field goal. Yeah, That would be pretty bad. The thing is, I have a rule against Christian McCaffrey on fantasy teams because I have seen him screw over an infinite amount of fantasy teams in my time as a first-round pick. Oh, we're picking him first. That'll go great. So I have never once picked Christian McCaffrey. I've been doing fantasy for 6 years now, and I've never picked Christian McCaffrey for that reason. So I've seen him take down so many fantasy teams. He's good when he's healthy, but wow. Jake Moody's 45-yard field goal is no good. They're saying he missed it. It looked into me, but the 45-yard field goal is missed. So Buffalo will take over from their own 35-yard line. And Jake Moody slings it too far to the left. So the 49ers will not manage to score. So Buffalo keeps them out of the end zone and out of points on that second drive. And Christian McCaffrey is a question mark in this one after it looked like something might have popped in his leg. That was the sign of his non-contact injury, which in general, not great. So we're still waiting for some news on Christian McCaffrey. I'll let you know as soon as I hear anything. Now they're just doing commercials. I do not have any commercials. I mean, I could probably make up a commercial, but then I'd have to do the whole not sponsored by nonsense. Probably make a pretty good commercial. Save 15% or more on car insurance with blank, So let's take a look at some of Week 13's action starting on Thanksgiving. Things got off to a strong start as the Bears fired head coach Matt Eberflus, which I totally predicted, by the way. Like absolutely 100% predicted. Mostly because after watching the final seconds, the only thing that I was shouting was, "Fire Eberflus! Get him out of here!" That was probably the worst game management snafu I've seen in quite a while, as Detroit pulled away from a game that could have been Chicago's. Dallas came up with a win against the Giants, not particularly impressive win, but Dallas is still fighting, which says quite a bit about the mentality that the Cowboys head into the year. I hate the Cowboys, but still. The Packers beat the Dolphins. Yeah, I mean, you sent the warmest blooded team to the cold Arctic, and that didn't go well. Black Friday, the Chiefs get bailed out by the worst possible thing ever. I mean, the tale of two 11-1 teams, am I right? Because the Lions have actually worked for it. The Chiefs have gotten lucky, and that's been kind of ugly for Kansas City. But they still come up with a win. I mean, they've only won 2 games this year by 2 out of 11 games by more than 1 score. And we'll also recap some of today's action on our next commercial break because we can do this throughout the entire time. He gets hurt so much. I can't. I just never draft him. People are like, give me suggestions. It says I should. And there goes McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey will limp into the locker room. That'll likely end his day here in Buffalo, which honestly might just be waving the snowy white flag of surrender to the Buffalo Bills. Speaking of, James Cook has a breakaway run, the 40, the 30, it's a foot race, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Buffalo. 1 play, and he's going all the way. It's a snow fight in Buffalo as James Cook is saying, I'm thinking I'm going to use some gold to cook my next meal. As the Bills take a 13-3 lead, 65 yards. Wow. James Cook just outran San Francisco. I mean, a hole and then just speed. James Cook showing off some of that skill. I mean, if you have him on a fantasy team, and James Cook just dusted the entire San Francisco defense, leaving snow in his tracks. Tyler Bass extra point is nailed. 14-3. The Buffalo Bills on top. I'm taking the Bills. That's my bet one. From the beginning, I'm sticking by it because it's an 11-point Buffalo lead with 8:38 remaining here in the first half. Josh Allen saying, I don't even have to throw. Not with this guy cooking next to me. and they are cooking some Shanahan right now. Woo! And what a start to this one, as Kyle Shanahan is less than pleased with his 49ers team at the moment, especially after giving up that huge play there. That's exactly what I said you're not supposed to do if you're San Francisco. So far I've said you have to run deep in the trenches. They lost Christian McCaffrey. Said they need to block well. There's been multiple free rushers coming for Brock Purdy. And then I said you have to be able to stop the run. And so far, James Cook just ran right past the entire defense. It's because they're used to the snow. I mean, as a Dolphins fan, that's my excuse. It's because they're used to it. They only won because they're used to the cold weather. We would have won otherwise. But as a recap of some of Sunday's action, we saw some thrillers. The Colts-Patriots came down to the wire. Shane Steichen made a bold call, and it paid off. The Steelers racked up the largest numbers in a Steelers-Bengals rivalry ever as Russell Wilson throws for 414 yards and 3 touchdowns as Pittsburgh cruises to a victory over Cincinnati. The Chargers pulled away from Atlanta in the midst of Kirk Cousins having a 4-interception game. And, wow. Yeah, are we looking at a bit of Michael Penix action coming soon? I wouldn't be too surprised. Seattle Seahawks handled the New York Jets with an impressive show of defense, including Leonard Williams. I mean, he's incredible. 92 yards, pick 6, and that's a 350-pound man. I mean, that's a big dude. Like, he was shaking the stadium as he walked, and he still got the pick 6. Fantastic. Seattle made a 14-point comeback to win this football game by 5, 19 points unanswered. The Jets just had no answer for them. They got up 21-7, and it looked good. Then suddenly it was all Seattle. And, of course, we look at the divisional rivalry between the Texans and the Jaguars. We saw Mac Jones come in after a tough hit on Trevor Lawrence, which knocked him out of the game, but Houston still came up on top in a close one. And we'll get to the rest in a moment. Let's see. 3:38 to go here in the first half, as Buffalo will kick it back to the San Francisco offense, who needs a jolt of life very quickly. Otherwise, they might find themselves ahead of halftime in perhaps a 21-3, even a 28-3 pit. Deebo Samuel is walled by Buffalo. He'll just get past the 20. Top of the table, it's the Buffalo Bills. Their 5-0 record at home, 30-plus points in each game. That's the 4th longest streak to start a season. They're trying to make it not tied. The Bills since 2020 at home, the 31-6 record. Dude, you're scrolling too fast. 10-1 record in December and January, and a .909 win percentage. That's the best in the NFL. The Bills haven't seemed to lose. They've been ruling as far as these wintry games are going. Purdy handoff to Mason. Mason gets a nice run. Mason breaks some tackles. Mason gets a nice run up to midfield. And Jordan Mason is just running with the Bills defense. All right. 8:15 to go in the first half. They need a touchdown here if they're going to want to stay in it. They definitely need some sort of momentum shift in this one, because so far Buffalo is ruling the momentum and the stadium is alive. Like, for as cold as it is, you're feeling the fire off of this Bills team right now. 1st and 10, Purdy under center. Go back to Mason, who gets about 5 yards. We'll see what happened to Christian McCaffrey.
Minutes and then walked off the field with the team orthopedist. He limped gingerly into the X-ray room. We are told he is questionable with a knee injury. We also, after that, saw Fred Warner run through the tunnel with the team doctor. We are told that is cramps.
All right, so not only have the San Francisco 49ers lost Christian McCaffrey, who's questionable to return, Fred Warner is also questionable to return with cramps. But Christian McCaffrey's is a knee injury. He's questionable to return to this one. I wouldn't expect him back if you're San Francisco. Third down for the Niners, Purdy. And they're showing when it appears that McCaffrey's knee popped and he just slid. I was in the right general area. All right. No more headphones for now. 6:40 to go here in the first half. 3rd and 4 coming up for San Francisco. This is key if the 49ers want to score here. It's a handoff to Mason, and Mason has a nice hole for about 6 or 7 yards and a first down. They're running the ball nicely so far, even without Christian McCaffrey. If they can keep it going, I would be mighty impressed if San Francisco can make this 14-10. Jordan Mason leads the team in rushing yards and rushes because Christian McCaffrey was hurt most of the year before he came back just in these last few weeks. But even then, he hasn't been super effective. Just over 6 minutes and exactly 6 minutes to go before halftime. The snow is still falling here in Western New York. Deebo Samuel in motion. They'll hand it off, and that will not work. Not even get any traction on that handoff to number 31, and that is, oh man, they're going to make me go look it up. Isaac Guerendo, rookie out of Louisville. Isaac Guerendo, okay. 5.5 to go. San Francisco's doing a nice job of winding the clock out. If they can help it, Buffalo will not get the ball before halftime. Honestly, that's the smart thing. Just take your time, score here, force Buffalo into halftime. Only down by 4, storm out of the gates. Then you're up 17-14. That's the ideal scenario for San Fran. But the blitz is coming for Purdy, and Purdy's taken down on the 5-man rush as Brock Purdy will be sacked for the first time today. They're going to give Von Miller credit for that one, as Miller came blazing. They rushed 5, but Miller was on the edge there, and he put some nice moves there, and he had a nice rush, and then he did have the last hit there, although they probably only gave him 0.5 of a sack. All right, this is exactly what I'm saying. San Francisco has to be able to stop this pressure from Buffalo. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. 3rd and 9 from the 36-yard line. Purdy drops back. Von Miller's free, and Purdy rolls to his right, and he's taken down by the legs. It's Greg Russo, and Greg Russo will take him down for another sack. Back-to-back sacks will get San Francisco off the field and potentially out of field goal range. As it stands, this would be about a 60-yarder, roughly, 58 probably. And Von Miller had a nice pressure, and then Russo saying, "I may be big, but I can keep up with this guy. He's not that fast." And he chases down Brock Purdy to pull away with a sack. And the 49ers will be punting. It's O'Donnell. Here comes the punt. They're missing their regular punter. And this one will take a 49ers bounce, and a beautiful punt it is. And down at the 3-yard line where the Buffalo Bills will start their drive when we come back. After this after this short message from something. And the snowballs have been thrown as Buffalo has a chance to go up 21-3 before halftime in this thus far lopsided Sunday Night Football matchup. Oh, man, I'm trying to read stuff without my glasses. This is an awful idea. Buffalo currently has an 83.6% chance to win according to Next Gen Stats. Sorry, according to ESPN Analytics. I got 2. I was looking at the wrong one. I like Next Gen Stats better personally. So Buffalo has been fairly thrashing them so far, if that's safe. Neither quarterback has thrown for more than 7 times. Purdy's thrown 6 times. Allen's thrown 5 times. They both have 1 incompletion. But they have not, they both have less than 35 yards. The passing game's just not moving for Buffalo. They're relying on the run. But Buffalo has outgained them just barely. so far in this one. 110 rushing yards for Buffalo, only 108 for San Francisco. I'm telling you, it's about the rushing game so far in this one. And I was right from the get-go. I'm saying it has to be a battle in the trenches, and Buffalo's winning it so far. They're doing a great job. I know, sad, but they really are doing a fantastic job at just winning in this winning in the run game. They're not doing a great job stopping the run defense, but they're getting that pressure on Purdy, as we saw from that last drive, which is definitely something they need to do to keep up the pace for Buffalo. So we saw Von Miller and Greg Rousseau come in on their sacks, although they're calling the Von Miller one just a tackle. Cheap. That's a sack. So Cook broke free for a 65-yard touchdown to put the Bills up 11. The potential to go up by more, by 18 perhaps. Yeah, this could be a tough stretch for San Fran. This is kind of a must-need win for San Francisco as far as the divisional race goes, because that puts them behind a game from the people who are behind a game. They have Chicago next week. Chicago's going to be playing empowered under new interim head coach Thomas Brown. They got the Rams in the divisional one. They have the Dolphins, who will be fighting for their lives. The Lions, who they will not lose. And then Arizona, who will be likewise fighting for the division. 1st and 10 for Buffalo. Snow's coming down hard here in New York. Hand off to James Cook. Going nowhere. Good job by San Fran stuffing that one. 2nd and 9. Maybe 2nd and 10, depending on where they spot it. We'll come back. Just over 3 minutes to go before halftime. The Bills are at their own 5-yard. They gave him 2 yards for that. Okay. Interesting ball spotting. 3 minutes to go before the half. Buffalo has to go 95 yards. The way they were moving on that last drive, just the one play, they should be able to get there in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Allen looks to pass. Pressure coming for Allen. He'll throw on the run. He's got Dawson Knox, who stiff-arms a man and keeping his momentum going to the 45-yard line. It's a 40-yard pass and run after that to Dawson Knox as Josh Allen's connecting with his tight ends. The tight ends have been huge for Buffalo this year, whether it's Dalton Kincaid or Dawson Knox. They've been doing just fine without Kincaid, though, as Knox has really stepped up the challenge. He says, "Get off me. Just get away from me." And he was just not going down from just one guy. And that brought it down to 3. Took 3, 1, 2, and then eventually 3 to take him down. Gain of 39, 1st and 10. Josh Allen it's the 2-minute warning. It's the 2-minute warning here in Western New York, as the Buffalo Bills will hold the lead up by 11. They're driving at about their own 40-yard line. 2 minutes is plenty of time for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Let's recap some more of the week's events. So last we saw the Texans were beating the Jaguars. We saw the Vikings escape with a narrow victory over the Arizona Cardinals, as Aaron Jones pulled away, as Sam Darnold working his magic yet again, as Minnesota's 10-2. Like, hello? Like, that's not what I expected. I mean, Kevin O'Connell, I always knew he was going to be a good coach, but to do this with Sam Darnold makes him one of the best coaches in the game of football. I'm saying it right now. Hot take. I mean, you could even go as far to say that Kevin O'Connell is currently the best coach in football just for what he's done with Sam Darnold, who coming into this career in Minnesota was a pile of trash. Like, no offense to Darnold or anything, but he was bad in New York. Everyone knows it. He was really, really bad for the Jets. He comes into Minnesota with just a fresh perspective, and Kevin O'Connell just gave him the freedom to run his own plays. I think he's done a fantastic job. And if I were the NFL, I'd be putting the Minnesota Vikings on my watch list. Like, watch out. These guys are coming for a Super Bowl. If they can get like, their defense has been playing spectacular. Like, you can't ask for any more from this Minnesota team. They're just not stopping. Minnesota's got a good chance of getting a deep run, even though they're probably not going to surpass the Lions in the regular season this postseason. Watch out for Minnesota. The Commanders completely crushed the Titans and everything they stand for after going up to a 28-0 start and one of the fastest scoring I've ever seen before Tennessee started fighting back in the second half in their 42-19 demolition of Tennessee. Meanwhile, we had an embarrassing one. It went to overtime. Carolina played a fantastic game. Tampa pulled away. They just managed to get a last-second field goal, zeros on the clock. Then in overtime, the Bucs don't get the field goal. They miss the field goal. It's Carolina's chance to prove the world that they can win a divisional matchup. And they fumbled again, and literally. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take it. They drive down the field, and Chase McLaughlin, 30-yard field goal. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers win that one. And we're back here in Western New York as the Buffalo Bills get set for a 1st and 10 with 2 minutes to go. Here's the 2-minute warning. Fred Warner is back out on the field for San Francisco, seeming to have recovered from his cramps. 1st and 10 from the 43 and a half. Allen under center. Hand off to Cook. James Cook has another hole. James Cook to the 40 and out at the 38-yard line. And James Cook, just hand him the ball again. Stick with your hot hand if you're a Buffalo in this one. Just stick with the hot hand. You got to stay with James Cook because he is cooking something up. Great blocking. Wow. It took a lot of effort to chase him down there. It is slippery. Saw a safety just slide. You know that it's slippery when you just kind of slide. Joe Brady, the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator, who's named the interim offensive coordinator after week 10 last year. That was the Ken Dorsey firing. 1st and 10 for Buffalo. Handoff again to James Cook. They are sticking with the hot hand, and it still remains hot after a nice gain, a little 9 or 10 yards for the Buffalo Bills, and they'll keep the drive rolling. They're going to give him the first down, because why not? And Buffalo, 20 seconds, they're already well on their way into 49er territory. And very soon, the end zone. I got this one 21-3 at halftime. It is not looking good for San Fran in this one. They're taking their time. They still have all 3 timeouts. They're just letting the clock go because why hurry? They're not going to give San Fran a chance to gain some momentum to try and double up on them at halftime. Good call by Brady, not calling any of his timeouts, taking his time. It's a low pass for Amari Cooper, who gets 6 yards on a little pitch play there. Buffalo will call their timeout to try and regroup after what seemingly failed as a play call. They went to commercial for a 30-second timeout. All right. The Rams took on the Saints in the late window. And the Los Angeles Rams, after a bit of a slow start, Kyron Williams scores a TD. Then DeMarcus Robinson for Matthew Stafford. Then Derek Carr lays one out for Marquez Valdez-Scantling in a 2-point conversion to make it 14-14. Then Puka Nacua says, "It's Puka Nacua my time now." And Matthew Stafford delivers 21-14. The Rams defense shuts down New Orleans for the rest of the game to pick up a victory to stay alive in this very NFC West race that we're worrying about. Meanwhile, a clash of titans occurred in America's Game of the Week at M&T Bank Stadium. Derrick Henry, the king, takes on Saquon, the backward hurdler Barkley in Baltimore. The Ravens got off to a strong start, up 9-0 early, but Justin Tucker, they got to make a tough decision with Tucker. He missed so many kicks. It's not even funny. He missed an extra point. He missed 2 field goals. Yeah, he missed two field goals and an extra point. Absolutely atrocious game for Justin Tucker in that one. As Baltimore got stuck kind of digging themselves out of a hole once Saquon Barkley decided, oh yeah, this is my game. This is I own this league. I am the MVP race. And Dallas Goedert got things started. Then Jalen Hurts with a little bit of a tush push to get into the end zone, 14-9 quickly, then 14-12. Then it was Saquon Barkley's time to shine with a 25-yard run that all but iced the game. And then a Jake Elliott field goal really capped it off. There was a little bit of a garbage time touchdown for Baltimore, 24-19. Philadelphia and Saquon Barkley are now officially the kings of the running game. The 49ers will be able to stage a comeback. I do not. I really do not. Because they just lost Christian McCaffrey, who's very easily their best offensive player. He was kind of the only hope that I had that San Francisco could win this game. And Buffalo with very likely to go up 21-3 at halftime. Even best case scenario, San Francisco storms out of the gate, scores a touchdown. It's still 21-10. That's still an 11-point game. Like, it's as it is right now. I think Buffalo's still going to take this one. Josh Allen will dump it off to James Cook on an elaborate little screen to get him inside goal to go. With 1 minute left, just run the ball. Take your time. Slow things down. You got a minute left. You got out of bounds. You have 2 timeouts. Chill. First game this season with 100-plus yards for each team in the first half. Okay, so the the rushing game has been going, yeah. So 108 and then 141 for Buffalo. So they're definitely running the ball well, both teams. They got a minute, just run the ball. Hand the ball off to Cook. Just tell him get down at the 1. No, you don't need to score quickly. And they will not. They'll just hand it off nice and calmly. Guys, I'm the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, y'all. That's exactly what they had to do there. Just run it up. Like, second and goal, you have all the time in the world. Don't give San Francisco the ball. You see San Fran starting to call their timeouts. Kyle Shanahan wants a shot at to take the field one last time to maybe make this game a bit more competitive before halftime. If they can do that and then storm out of the gates at halftime, then it's a football game. Then it's 21-17, and we're in a thriller. But I just don't believe that San Francisco has the firepower to win this one. The Doppler radar. Storms. Storms coming into Highmark Stadium. It looks like the snow might let up after halftime. If I know how to read a Doppler radar, which I don't. But I'm pretty sure that means the snow is going to settle after it passes over Western New York. But right now it is in full blizzard mode. The temperature is 29 degrees and dropping as the night goes on as the snow is slowly getting thicker on the field. 84 in motion. I don't remember who that is. It's play action. Allen looks to the end zone. He'll throw over the head of his intended receiver. I'll tell you exactly who that intended receiver is in a moment. 84. What's his number here? Zach Davidson in his second year at a Central Missouri State. What's his target there? Yeah, he didn't have him. And Fred Warner did a nice job of shutting that one down. Good defense, forcing him to throw it away. 47 seconds, 3rd and goal. This is 4-down territory. I mean, sure, 17-3 is great, but, 21-3 is awesome. And you're right there. So Allen will just throw one up, and it is, by some miracle, caught as Mac Hollins. Why wasn't he this good on the Dolphins? Touchdown Buffalo, and he snags it out of the sky. An awful defense by Jarvarius Ward. And touchdown Buffalo, and Sean McDermott's not even smiling about it. And the snow is growing light in the mountain tonight as Mac Hollins basically just snags one. Like, Josh Allen was throwing it away, and almost certain that he was throwing it away. And somehow, let's see if his feet were in bounds. I believe they were. 1, 2, wow. Mac Hollins scored a touchdown. Why wasn't he this good in Miami? We had him for like 5 years. He did nothing. And the extra point is good. And Buffalo connecting because Mac Hollins saying, you're trying to throw it out of bounds? No way. And the mad scientist Mac Hollins has arrived. He was wearing a wig, a science lab, and of course no shoes. Because people in Buffalo don't wear shoes when it's snowing. Mac Hollins showing a bit of that mad scientist spirit. So he scores the touchdown. He's definitely feeling a bit mad, and so am I because of that. The fact that he was so bad on the Dolphins. Now he's doing stuff. It's funny. They were trying, it was an Applebee's commercial, not sponsored by either Applebee's or Chick-fil-A. They showed an Applebee's commercial. And at first, I thought it was a Chick-fil-A commercial because they were like trying to show you what a bad chicken burger looks like. And like all I saw is what like they feed you when you're at an event or something all day and they need something to feed you and they just get like 50 Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches. Like if you're from Florida, they from the South, they just buy you like 50 chicken sandwiches. They all have like the bread that looks like it's traveled. And then they put the pickles and nothing else. And it's like, why did you just put the pickles? I mean, I like pickles, but why would you just put the pickles? It's a chicken burger. You could have just gotten the chicken burger plain. In all fairness, you could have just gotten the chicken burger plain, but they put pickles on it. I'm like, why'd you put pickles? And that's all I thought is I saw the chicken burger with pickles. I'm like, hey, look, it's what I get for lunch whenever I stay up late at work. It's like, hey, that's what I get fed. Then it was like, this is what a bad chicken sandwich looks like. I'm like, I don't know. I kind of like their chicken sandwiches. It's like Applebee's. No, I don't like Applebee's personally, but Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches aren't bad, but that's exactly what I saw. Is I just saw the chicken, like the soggy bread is kind of what it looks like the well-traveled bread, the chicken. It looked just, and then the pickles, like the 4 pickles. I'm like, I've eaten that multiple times. By the way, my name's not Kyle. It's not my real name. Or is it? You'll never know. It's not Kyle. I don't even look like a Kyle. He's wrong. When I think Kyle Rudolph. No one remembers who that is. But you know what? I'll type it in the chat just so that people they need to remember Kyle. He was fantastic. I had him on my fantasy team back in my very first year that I did fantasy. I loved him. He got me so many points. And he was the Vikings tight end back in, 2018? 2017, 2018? Man. Kyle Rudolph. Man. Memories. He had that historic game on Christmas and everyone went crazy. Because he was Rudolph. They're like, he's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And at that time, he played with Pittsburgh, I think. And when he played with Pittsburgh, the quarterback throwing to him was also named Rudolph, I believe, Mason Rudolph. A little bit of pushing and shoving at the end of the kickoff there. San Francisco 49ers. They've had some slipping issues as Juwan Jennings back on the very first play slipped as he was trying to go in motion. The D lineman just flat out belly flopped on the floor because he wasn't expecting it to be as slippery. And then Jake Moody's leg slipped on the missed field goal earlier. Those who remember Kyle Rudolph. Man. It's been a long time since I've had to think about Kyle Rudolph because he retired a while ago, like a few years back. Wait, did he? I feel like he was still around last year. Brock Purdy hands it off up the middle. That's 24. I'm not quite sure who that is. I think it's Mason. Mason's 24, right? But it was a nice run. He got about 11. 27 seconds to go. They're running the ball, which is interesting because it shows they don't really want it. That's right. It is the month. It's that time of year. It's my cause, my cleats. The Buffalo, just support them. Support the players at NFL.com/my cause, my cleats. They all have amazing charities, amazing stories behind them all. Definitely send some love to the players for my cause, my cleats. I'm watching. I'm watching the My Cause My Cleats slideshow. So yeah, definitely show them some love for that. Terrell Bernard was the Bills' highlight My Cause My Cleats player of the week. 57 tackles. He's been really disruptive for this Bills defense as far as that linebacker unit goes. He's probably been one of the best. The pressure comes. It's a dump off to Samuel on a screen. Samuel can't get outside. He'll get to about midfield. 49ers will go hurry up, not trying to waste their timeout. They got to get set here. 14, 13, 12, 11. Purdy will spike it with 10 seconds to go. No, I mean, definitely shout it out at the chat if you remember Kyle Rudolph. I loved Kyle Rudolph. My fantasy team back in 2018 was weird, but I still won. Like I won the league because of like one good, basically like a few good weeks that got me in there. Because my quarterback was Marcus Mariota back when he was still in Tennessee. I had Kyle Rudolph, and those were the two like in that finals matchup. I think Mariota had like 2 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, and Rudolph caught like 2 touchdown passes. Back when it was Case Keenum in Minnesota. Man, the blast from the past. So 3rd and 3, 10 seconds to go. San Francisco does still have that timeout. They're looking for mid-range, 15 to 20 yards on this one. The only other player that I know that's named Kyle in present day is Kyle Duggar, who's like a Patriots safety or cornerback, but he's never been all that good. I just like Kyle Rudolph. He was crazy. Only because of that 1 week. He was like mediocre the rest of the time. It was like 7, 7, 7, 7, and then he got 34. Brock Purdy looks deep. 7 seconds. He'll throw deep, and he's got him. It's Juwan Jennings. So the 49ers will get points, assuming Jake Moody does, in fact, make the field goal. There's 4 seconds left. That's going to be your field goal right there. It was a very speedy play. Purdy looked, and he just had him at the top of his route. Great throw by Brock Purdy, putting it right between the 1 and the 5 of Juwan Jennings' numbers there. Beautiful throw. Whew, Jennings almost slipped. That would have been a tough way to go out. So Jake Moody, he made a 33-yarder. He missed from 45. I want to say this one's around 45 as well. This is 55. It's kind of around 45. And the snap is good. The snap is high. The hold is good. And the kick is no good. He didn't get the height. He didn't get the height there. As Jake Moody just goes under the goalpost. So 49ers won't score, and Buffalo goes up 21-3 going into the half. I can't show the game because of copyright. So the rule is you put on your TV, you mute them, you listen to me do the commentary. So you can watch the game, but listen to the commentary while it's going. Eagles versus Bills Super Bowl. That would be fun. I would say that would be kind of fun. Eagles Bills Super Bowl. Yeah, I can't do it because of copyright. Otherwise, I would have like a long time ago because I would enjoy it more too. But no, yeah, I'm not allowed to. So yeah, Eagles Bills Super Bowl would be really cool. Lions Chiefs, I feel like would be very underwhelming. Like if people are like, it's gonna be so exciting. Like I feel like it's not gonna be. Well, it is halftime. I don't do anything during halftime, so I am going to disappear for just a moment, probably around 5 minutes. Refill my drink so that I don't lose my voice throughout the entire playthrough, and I'll be back very shortly. See you guys just like 5 minutes, just before the end of halftime. Goodbye. What's up? I'm back. Was gonna make it all. Oh, thank you. Oh wait, I have to ban you now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why'd you have to do it? Why'd you have to do it? I had to remove the message. That's crazy. I've only had to do that like twice. Wow. Bill's gonna make it all the way. I would not be surprised. As much as I hate to say it, I would not be surprised. No. Stop. I will keep doing it. That's I will continue to do it. You keep on doing that. Did I miss something? How did all these people get here? How did all these people get here so suddenly? Way to go not know. Yeah, I mean, crazy. I know he's the worst. This is all his fault. I gotta keep removing him. Don't make me put you in a timeout. No one puts baby in a corner. It has been quite the first half. Honestly, I don't know why I chose this game. Probably because I didn't want to do Broncos Browns because it's going to be worse. But it's Kyle, actually. It's Kyle. It's already established. My name's Kyle. It's spelled like this. No, why would I ever go to bed? Dude. I'll ban you too. You're leaking too much information. But yes. Yeah, that's them. Who'd you recognize? I should not be in bed. Sleep is for the weak. I think that's a pretty decent slogan. How did you even possibly figure that out? What was the deduction that made you go, oh, these are the cruise guys? They're just randomly guessing fellas. Who needs sleep? It's only 2:45. It's only 2:45. And this is when anyone who has any sort of Southern in them would go, you can put only in front of everything. And there's a lot of snow flying in Western New York. Bye, Billy. It is cold, I will say that. Not as cold as in Buffalo, but it's cold. I will say this game is kind of bad. This game's not good. 21-3. Bills have the lead. Let's take a look at the Bills' upcoming schedule. They have the Rams next week. That should be a win. Then they have the Lions. That's the tough one. That's the one Buffalo's going to drop. Honestly, 14-3 is not bad because there's not a chance in the world that they're losing to the Patriots or the Jets. Twice to the Patriots. They're winning both of them. They're going to beat the Jets as well. The game they lose is kind of the Lions. If they lose to the Rams next week, I would be a bit surprised. I would be a bit surprised if if they do lose to the Rams next week. I mean, the Rams have definitely been picking up the pace quite a bit as of late. These last couple of games, they beat the Saints. They looked good against the Eagles. They had a few issues. They definitely looked good against the Patriots. After the Dolphins lost, they kind of turned their season around a bit. They started playing more physical, more aggressive. They beat the Patriots really tough. They've been averaging more points. They've been winning more. The grittier the game, the easier it is. Philadelphia was just a little. San Fran was just San Fran. Philadelphia was a little too tough for them to play, because Philadelphia is a really good team with a very good chance of going all the way. And I mean, when there's a single man on the planet who can rush for 255 yards and 2 touchdowns, I'm not sure anyone's stopping him. So the Rams can't stop him. I mean, Aaron Donald was still there. Maybe he could pull it off, but he wasn't still there. Should we take a look at the AFC playoff picture? Let's. So Kansas City has already clinched the playoffs, because that's just what they do. They clinch the playoffs really, really early. Buffalo with a chance to clinch today. If they defeat San Francisco tonight, they'll take the AFC East and will be locked into a top 4 spot in the AFC playoff picture. Pittsburgh currently holds the AFC North. They sit at 3rd. Houston sits at 4th. They've been kind of underwhelming as of late. The Chargers are at 5th. The Ravens at 6th. The Broncos at 7th. And then chasing after them is Indianapolis and Miami are the closest after. And then, of course, Cincinnati and the rest of the gang after that. We'll say Cincinnati has not looked great. They've not looked very efficient. In these last few games, they keep losing these really tight games. I mean, I want to see the day that Cincinnati wins a tight game. They lost to Pittsburgh. They lost to the Chargers. They lost to the Ravens. They beat the Raiders, but they were supposed to beat the Raiders like badly. They lose to the Eagles. They beat the Browns, but like they're winning against weak teams. But whenever they're faced with any sort of a challenge, they're kind of floundering in the face of adversity. And it is not going well. Don't do that. I don't even know how you found it, Galactic. Who told you the secrets? Oh, wow. Mike Tomlin told his own player to grow up. That sounds like Mike Tomlin. Boat! What's up? How's it going, Boat? We got a good one. Buffalo's up 21-3. So, is up 21-3 at halftime. We're about to open up the second half. The running game has been dominant for both teams in this one. The first time this season that both of the playing teams have more than 100 yards on the ground. Buffalo has 141 with James Cook hitting that 100-yard marker just before halftime. And then San Francisco has 119. Their carries shared between Jordan Mason and Christian McCaffrey. But things aren't looking so hot for San Francisco because they've been without Christian McCaffrey, who's just been injured. He hurt his knee and is questionable to return to the game. Hangover is most certainly real. Don't tell me otherwise. It's bad. So Tyler Bass will kick off the second half. This is returnable for San Francisco. It's Deebo Samuel. Samuel tries to get his team some life. It's a nice return to the 50. He's still on his feet. And the 49ers will be starting in plus territory. And San Fran will keep on going. Talk to Kyle Shanahan. I can't do that. But I did talk to the FAU football coach and basketball coach. I had to talk to him before he got fired. That was a nice return there. I do have fans because I'm getting outed by people. Dang, no. He's messing stuff up, man. No, it's fine. Just as long as you're here, you have to subscribe. That's the rule. Brock Purdy will open it off with a handoff to Jordan Mason. We'll get about 1 yard on the play. They're going to give him 2. The ref's feeling generous today, knowing that San Francisco is down by so much. It's hilarious, Kyle. Oh, thank you. Just for the record, my name's Kyle. No questions asked. 2nd and 8 coming up for San Francisco. I would be watching the middle of the field here. See Ricky Pearsall in motion. Purdy drops back to pass. Purdy throws over the middle. Hey, it's Juwan Jennings. I'm so good at this. So Juwan Jennings gets a nice first down. So San Francisco set up by the beautiful return by Deebo Samuel. Give them some life to start this second half. And a nice little throw there from Purdy to get Jennings and get him into the red zone early. Nice little cut. The Bills were playing soft zone. Russell Douglas tried to close in, but he didn't have the speed that fast. So 1st and 10 from the 21. Purdy under center, Mason in the backfield. Handoff goes to Mason. Towards the right side, he'll get about 3 yards. Surprising gain. He made something happen out of nothing. 2nd and probably 6 or 7, depending on the spot. They're going to say 2nd and 7. 13:20 to go here in the third quarter. Buffalo leads by 18. San Francisco driving, set up by the wonderful return from Deebo Samuel. The temperature is 29 degrees and blizzarding here in Western New York as the Buffalo Bills lead in this snowy game. 13 minutes to go. 2nd and 7 from the red marker. Handoff to Mason. Mason has a hole, and he's upended at the 10-yard line. A nice 10-yard gain there. Vikings are a goofy team. Why? Because they wait until the last minute to win games, but they're still 10-2. I mean, it was a good win. The Cardinals aren't an easy team to beat anymore. And Minnesota's had some solid wins lately. I mean, they've really been putting it at the last second. Like, they really don't want to blow teams out of the water. Not since they lost for the first time. They're like, you know what? We're just not going to blow teams out anymore. That was just an executive decision on their behalf. Use check in motion, Purdy under center. Or a lot of early motion there. My guess is it's going to be false start. We'll hear from Alex Kemp, our referee. And it is on the defense. They will, in fact, call encroachment on Von Miller. Encroachment. Wow. Yeah, it was a pretty bad game for Kirk Cousins. 4 interceptions. I mean, the Chargers defense is one of the top in the league, but there's no excuse for throwing 4 interceptions against any defense. 12 minutes to play. 1st and goal for San Francisco. 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. At the 5-yard line, set up after the encroachment penalty and the Deebo Samuel big return, set him up in plus territory. It's a handoff up the middle to Juszczyk, who fumbles, and Buffalo will scoop it up. The Bills will return it, and San Fran won't even score, and he's still on his feet, and the Buffalo Bills will take over at the San Francisco 45-yard line. And Kyle Juszczyk fumbles, and I believe that's Bernard, who will scoop it up and take it back the other way. And Buffalo is continuing their dominance. Wow. And just like that, celebrating with Billy the Bison over the end, it was Christian Benford, who scooped it up. And the Bills what a punch by Taylor Rapp, knocking the ball right out of Kyle Juszczyk's hands. And then it was just the rest was all on Benford, who just scoops it up, takes it the other way as far as he possibly can. And Buffalo, instead of San Francisco being at the 1, Buffalo is at the San Fran 45. What a turn as Deebo Samuel slips on the snow on what probably could have been the recovery. But instead, it'll be Buffalo ball at the 48-yard line. So the Bills are set up nicely to score yet again. So San Fran, after such a strong start to this second half, they continue to struggle. All right, see you. I'm going to stand. Power of the standing desk. I love this desk. It's such a good desk. Yeah. Oh, you're. Don't do that. The record. This is a relatively new. Don't do that. This is a relatively new channel for the. I just changed the name. Really, the videos are actually not the exponential videos. They are from my other channel, which you can also subscribe to since you're still here for some reason. So go on over to the other channel. It's in the other channel section of the exponential, and you can go subscribe to that other one where there's a video on a cruise. There's 4 videos. Scavenger hunt. It was a lot of fun. All right, so next week is week 14, December 4th through the 10th. It opens up with Thursday Night Football, where we'll be in Detroit as the Green Bay Packers get set to take on the Detroit Lions. We'll go ahead and type that in real quick. Bear with me. Listen to the typing, isn't it great? This is why I don't like this computer. Oi. This computer actually frustrates me. All right, Detroit Lions. I totally messed it up, but it doesn't matter. Second down coming up for Buffalo after the James Cook run up the middle. Getting 7 yards on the run. $11-12 to go here in this third quarter. The Bills lead by 18 and are at the San Francisco 45-yard line. They'll stick with their hot hand and give it to James Cook, who'll gain about a yard before he's held up by the San Francisco defense. 3rd and short coming up. 11:03 to go here in the second half. Here in the third quarter. I still can't believe Matt Collins actually did something. Like, why couldn't he do that when he was on the Dolphins? 3rd and 2 for Buffalo. Can the Niners defense hold strong? Ty Johnson giving him a little eye candy to look at. 49ers bring blitz, and it's a screen that falls short of Khalil Shakir. Bad pass by Allen. Looked more like he was throwing at the ground than Khalil Shakir. And the Bills are looking like they're going to stay on the field. I agree with the call wholeheartedly. I mean, no, they're punting. Never mind. They should have stayed on. I mean, it's only 4th and 2. San Francisco's done absolutely nothing. Your defense has been on fire. I mean, you have a better chance of scoring with your defense on the field than with your offense at the rate that this game's going, because San Francisco is playing really badly. Sam Martin to punt it away for Buffalo. San Francisco showing pressure on the punt. He'll get it off, and it is almost blocked, but Martin will get it off in time. And it'll bounce, take a Buffalo bounce at the 6-yard line, where San Francisco will start their drive. 10-10 to go here in the third quarter. The Bills Mafia on their feet as they are warming Highmark Stadium in the frigid cold. Buffalo leads by 18, 21-3. San Fran has the ball. Bills in control. So next week, kicks off with Packers-Lions. Then on Sunday, things get started with Saints and Giants in a really, really awful game. But I gotta say, I'm taking the Saints on that one. As for Packers-Lions, I'm definitely gonna take. You know what? I'm gonna throw one up there. I'm taking the Packers. They beat the Dolphins. We're taking the Packers. Then the Dolphins, Jets in the 1 o'clock window. I'm taking Miami over the Jets. The Jets just haven't been doing enough. I'm taking the Fins at home. The Browns take on the Steelers in a North Divisional rivalry. Remember that snow game? Yeah, Pittsburgh's going to want revenge for that. So Pittsburgh is taking the victory over Cleveland. Minnesota takes on Atlanta. It's about time that the Falcons faced a real challenge. Oh, wait, they've been facing them, and they've been failing. I'm taking Minnesota over Atlanta in that one, and I think it's going to be a pretty swift handling of the way Kirk Cousins is playing, especially against his former team. I'm taking O'Connell over Cousins. Give me the Vikings. The Las Vegas Raiders head to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. It's a battle of the Pirates, I suppose, and so I'm taking Tampa Bay because everyone knows that the Buccaneers always win. And I'm taking the Bucs to take control of the NFC South over Atlanta. Atlanta's going to lose. Tampa's going to win. For the record to 7-6. I think Tampa's got a real good shot to win the NFC South the way Atlanta's playing. Philadelphia has an easy win, double digits over Carolina. Jacksonville takes on Tennessee to close the 1 o'clock window. That's a tough one because they're both perfectly mediocre teams, neither of which will make the playoffs. But I'm going to say I'm going with Tennessee. I think Nick Westbrook-Akine catches 2 more passes, both for touchdowns. I'm taking the Titans. Then in the late window, the Seahawks head to Arizona in a battle of the division. Guess what? Seattle took the first game, but I'm saying they're not taking the second one. I'm taking Arizona. I think Seattle does win the division, but I take the Cardinals at home over Seattle. The Bills and the Rams, technically in America's game of the week in LA, but I'm taking Buffalo over the Rams. It should be a pretty fairly good one, but I'm taking Buffalo. The Bears head to this very San Francisco team. You know what? I think San Francisco might be able to pull up the win, but not without Christian McCaffrey. If McCaffrey's there, San Francisco pulls out the win without him. I'm taking Thomas Brown in his first game as your number head coach. I'm taking the Bears. And then we'll hit the other two at the next commercial break, Sunday and Monday Night Football. Use check in motion, play action for Mason. And Juwan Jennings is hit hard, and did he fumble? They're calling it incomplete. It was a nice pass from Purdy. He had it, and the ball was shaken loose after a hard hit. They're going to say it's incomplete. That's definitely incomplete. Great call. Good job by Bernard, just getting his hand in there. Classic football. Great job. Juwan Jennings hasn't been the most sure of hands on this 49ers team. He definitely has to get better at just possession catching when it comes down to these kind of situations. And handoff to Mason, who'll be stumped for a gain of nothing, maybe even a loss of 1 on the play. Third down. 3rd and long coming up for San Francisco. They might find themselves punting from the back of their own end zone, and then watch out because that Bills defense is going to run right through them. 9:38 to go here in the third. Kyle Shanahan, what do you call here? 3rd and 10 backed up against your end zone. You're going to want to get at least 5 so that your punter is not pinned in an awkward position. So definitely try to get a completion. I would maybe throw a screen. And Purdy's under pressure, and they do throw a screen, but Jennings drops it. It's Kittle that drops it. Actually, that is not something you see every day. George Kittle drops the screen. He'll be kicking himself over that one for a while. 4th and 10. So the Niners will be punting backed up. Von Miller had him. That was a terrifying moment for the 49ers. And George Kittle just drops the screen, hits him right in the hands. Might have been able to get their punter in reasonable position. Just a reminder, this is not San Francisco's usual punter. Usual punter is injured and gone, so they're having a bit of punter issues, and he'll get the punt away, only barely. It's a pretty good one to the 50-yard line, but it's returnable to the 45. Spin move gets him down to the San Francisco 43-yard line, where Buffalo will start their drive. It's Pat O'Donnell, the punter for San Francisco. He was a drafted punter. Wow. He's only spent 2 days of the 2 weeks ahead of this one with the San Francisco team. So that was a pretty impressive job for a relatively unexperienced punter. Got all kinds of fans in the house. We have Vikings, we have Steelers, we have Lions, and of course myself as our resident Dolphin fan. But at this point, who knows? At this point, I'm just a sports fan. Go sports! It's a bad reference. Comment if you got the reference. If you didn't, that's okay. It was a bad reference anyway. Go sports! So Sunday Night Football next week, the Chiefs are hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. That's going to be a tough game for Los Angeles to win. I don't have them winning that one. Kansas City at Geha Field at Arrowhead Stadium. Kansas City's not going to lose that one at home against the division rivals. Taking the Chiefs, it's going to be a close one. Kansas City's probably going to win on some last-second miracle again. Taking the Chiefs over the Chargers. Then on Monday Night Football, we have the Dallas Cowboys at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. And since they're at home, everyone knows what that means. That means it's the Bengals' time to shine. We're taking Cincinnati. Joe Burrow gets things under control at last. It's about time. The Bengals win by 2 scores because that seems to be the only way they can win because they can't win in close games. So I'm taking the Bengals by 2 scores over the Cowboys. That concludes my picks. Honestly, I'm forgetting who I picked this week. I have them written down. Let me see how I'm doing. I picked the Patriots. Why would I do that? Okay. 0-1, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1. Let's go. 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1, 9-1. No, that's 8-2. 8-2, 9-2, 10-2. I did pick the Packers. Is that bad that as a Dolphins fan I picked the Packers? Yeah, all right. I'm 12-2. I'm 12-2 and about to be 13-2. I'm getting a groove on these picks. Oh, that's right. Josh Allen got engaged since last we saw him play. November 22nd, he got engaged. Good for him. Totally irrelevant to the game. Not quite sure why they put it on there. This is football. Taylor Swift. Hand off to Ray Davis. Ray Davis has a nice hole and a nice gain of 13 on the play. San Francisco's defense is leaving huge gaps for this running game to just cut through. Buffalo's doing a great job of just keeping the ball rolling so far. We are almost 2 hours through. Only an hour and a half to go. We're ready. 1st and 10 for the Bills. Not every O-lineman is lined up for Buffalo. Not sure what's going on there. They'll get it worked out. San Fran's showing some heavy pressure. They rush quite a few. I need to drink more. And the handoff to James Cook goes nowhere to Ray Davis. Sorry. I will say there has not been too many penalties so far in this one. And even then, they haven't been anything major. There's been a few illegal contacts, but the O-line has stayed pretty clean. There hasn't been any holdings, no false starts. There was like 2 delay of games, but mostly the O-line's done a great job. Very clean play. The Buffalo really should take their pride in it. This is 100th consecutive regular season start for Josh Allen. Why didn't they show that at the beginning of the game? Curtis Samuel on a little bit of a jet sweep. Ooh, he is upended there by Brown, which will bring up 3rd and short. I'm going to say 3rd and 2. I don't think I've said this yet. They're currently showing Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico. If you're looking at them and you're listening to them, can I recommend that you turn them off and come on over to me? Not that I have anything against Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth, but I do believe that I'm better, so turn them off, mute them, come on over here, and I'll commentate on it for you. 3rd and 2 coming up for Buffalo, 7 minutes to go. And, I answer questions. So if you have any comments or sports-related queries, type them in the chat and I can answer them as soon as possible. Blitz coming for Allen. Allen launches one and it's denied. Deflected 4th and 2 coming up. Good job by Mustafa breaking up the pass. Could have intercepted it, but Buffalo will have to settle. Looks like they might be staying on the field here. Looks like Josh Allen wants to. We'll see what McDermott calls. Got nothing to lose. That's what I got to say. You got nothing to lose. I mean, you're up by 18. Worst case scenario, you're up by 11. Best player so far in this game. Got to be James Cook. He's having a beast of a game. 108 yards and a touchdown and 11 carries. But honestly, I think you said best player, but the Bills are just out-coaching them. Sean McDermott's doing a great job with the defense. Just all in general, you just take the Bills team, pick a player. They're doing better. So 4th and 2, Buffalo will call a timeout, and they'll most likely send either the field goal unit or the punt team out there. Or Josh Allen's just cold, and they're trying to warm him up. Both likely. He's cold. All right. So the Buffalo Bills will walk back onto the field for 4th and 2. Man, the snow is making me cold. They got a solid amount of snow in Buffalo right now. Because it is starting to pile up because the blizzard just hasn't stopped. It has been one fun snow game, although we haven't had quite enough for snow angels quite yet. But maybe the snow will pick up. 86% second in the NFL on 4th down. They're 12 of 14. They are pretty accurate when it comes to Josh Allen rolling out of the pocket. That's the way you get these. Allen rolls to his right. On the roll, he'll either throw it to a tight end or he'll just run it himself. Shakir in motion. 49ers showing pressure. They rush 5. Allen throws overhead. He's got it. It's Khalil Shakir down at the 7-yard line. And an easy first down for Buffalo. They don't even make it look hard. And so the Bills are set up at goal to go. See, Shakir just wraps around on a classic little slant. And there's a nice little, when you're on offense, it's a pick. When you're on defense, it's a block. But that was a pick there. It was just a nice job. It was totally accidental. It was just a little cross route. Shakir went underneath, Knox went overhead, and Knox picked up the linebacker on his way. Then a nice shot by Samuel doing the double block while he was at it. And a quick screen to, and they're doing laterals. Oh my goodness. Touchdown Buffalo. What just happened? And a complete broken play from Buffalo on a pass to Amari Cooper, who he has to catch with one hand. He struggles with it. As he's taken down, he laterals it back to Josh Allen, who extends over the plane for a touchdown. Amari Cooper, one-handed, about to be taken down. He just laterals it to Josh Allen, who does the rest with a leaping touchdown. I think he got it, too. And improvisation at its finest. The Bills are winning on all. They're winning in every cylinder of this game. There are actors who would be impressed with that kind of improvisation there. Amari Cooper just going, I'm stuck. You want the ball back? Sure. And Josh Allen doing it himself with a little help from Amari Cooper. Shaking tackles and then lunging for the end zone. I can't believe he actually got that. And so the Bills now are up by 25 points, and I am proud to say, folks, that this is officially a blowout. It's not the worst game we've commentated on. That still belongs to Broncos Saints. That was Thursday Night Football in week 7? Week 7. Broncos Saints, that game was awful. So bad. But the best game we had came just last week. We've had a few good ones. Last week, week 12, Monday Night Football, we had Ravens-Chargers. That was our highest scoring game we've commentated on. Of course, you can see all the games we've commentated on in the VODs. You can go drop a like down on any of them. Much appreciated. Wow, that was a crazy touchdown. So Buffalo is now up by 25, and I have absolutely no reason to be commentating anymore because Buffalo has basically just sealed this game. But I'm going to stay to the end. That's my job. I have absolutely nothing to talk about, so comments or queries or anything you want to type it in the chat, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm going to watch commercials. Save 15% or more on car insurance with Enter Brand. Any questions? Come on. Don't leave me hanging here. Is the sophomore slump real? Just, throw that one out there. The answer is yes. We're back from Western New York with no questions asked and none answered. Does Allen deserve an MVP? Does he deserve one? Absolutely. Will he get one? Probably not. Why? Because he's stuck in the midst of people who are having incredible seasons, such as Lamar Jackson, who he may have been winning, who he may have had these MVPs before, but this is the first season when he's actually looked like a complete quarterback. He's also stuck in the mix with Patrick Mahomes. Saquon Barkley's coming up as kind of a dark horse inside of this MVP race. I think he's definitely got a shot for MVP. So the kickoffs, the 49ers will take over with 5:58 to go here in the third quarter. Deebo Samuel tries to give his offense some life with another good return, and he'll have another good return just out past midfield, where the 49ers will start yet again. Well, I agree, but he's still in the MVP race. He has been average, but ultimately ESPN and the SPs in general have a love with him. So, like, Jared Goff's in that race too, because he's been one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. I still believe that Tua should be the MVP. I think he's still in the race. Like, he's good, but enough is enough. Purdy will hand it off to Jordan Mason, who gets stuffed at the line. No, there's no chance. He missed half the year. Just for that, he can't get it. Like, if Josh Allen gets hurt and misses the rest of the year, he's not winning MVP just because he missed half the year. Josh Allen is the fourth player in NFL history to have a receiving touchdown on a pass he threw. Nice. It's the power of laterals. I feel like Tom Brady's on that list. 2nd and 10 from the Buffalo 47, roughly. Again, too much snow to count exactly. Purdy under pressure. Purdy escapes one, rolls to his right. He'll throw on the run and overthrows Ricky Pearsall. Pretty badly. Bad throw by Purdy. Pearsall also slipped on the snow. So the snow is definitely taking a toll on some of these 49er players, and this has been he just slipped. That is, that's not embarrassing. He'll be fine. When you have a chance to score the game-winning touchdown and you slip. Not that this would be, but that's kind of what came to mind. Like, Super Bowl, but in the snow. 3rd and 10. That'd be super entertaining. It's banned, but it would be so entertaining. Purdy looks. He throws to Deebo Samuel. He'll get about 6. What do we think about snow games? He does get a break. That's true. And considering he came back, that's kind of cool. He did do that. I did not expect him back this year from that, but he came back. So, good for him. He's added something to this team. He's still growing as a receiver. He's definitely got the opportunity. He can be great. 4th and 5, they go for it. And he's got Juwan Jennings, and Juwan Jennings makes a nice play down to 20-yard line and a little bit past that to about the 17. Yeah, it was definitely quite the experience for him. The fact that he was still willing to come back to San Francisco, the place where he'd only been for like 3 months, because he is a rookie. He's only been in this city 3 months. In those 3 months, he got shot. It's not necessarily like something you'd immediately go, I'm staying here. But he did that, and that takes a lot of courage there. Jordan Mason on the handoff. I'm not even sure what happened, but he seems to have done a backflip and only gotten a yard. 2nd down coming up for San Francisco as the third quarter begins to wind down, just over 3 minutes to go. Jordan Mason has been a fun surprise for the San Francisco offense, but even he is not enough to overcome this Bills team. Honestly, who is? Bills have won the majority of their tough games down the stretch. They lose to the Lions. In my opinion, I think they do drop that game, although it's going to be really entertaining, but I'm not sure. 2nd and 8. It'll be play action for Ricky Pearsall. Dump it off, and that'll go into the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. And the Niners score for the first time. It's Isaac Guerendo. So is it Isaac or is it Isaac? I feel like it's Isaac. It's Isaac Guerendo. That's a 15-yard rush. It was a lot. Yeah, okay. It was a rush technically. It was a lateral pass, and Guerendo does the rest. Some nice little trickeration. Ricky Pearsall to the right, Guerendo to the left. Screen to Guerendo, and Guerendo makes the play to get San Francisco in the end zone. So this will be 28-10, assuming the extra point goes through. And the extra point is up, and it is right down the middle. 28-10, 49ers fighting back. Not a whole lot, but they are fighting back. They're not dead yet. Keyword, yet. When is Dre Greenlaw expected back? I think he's out for the year. I think. I'll double check. No, he's on the PUP list. So he's not out, but he's on the PUP list for now. So there's no way to know. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, that guy. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but that was one of the worst ways to get injured ever. It's like, yeah, we did it. Oh no. Yeah, that was not good. I think that was him. There was that one person who's like, yeah, nice interception. And then he just takes a step, like a bad step, and his entire Achilles just pops. And like everyone watching is like, oh, that's an awful way to go down. I'm like, oh yeah, he's gone. College football news. The Hurricanes threw away their season. Because that's what they do best. Yeah, so. Great. It's all about the U, and there's no U in winning. So. There is a U in sucking. So, I mean, I don't understand how they managed to throw that away. They had such a huge lead on the ACC, but just awful. I don't know how they possibly threw it that badly, but now they're basically out of the college football playoff. And, if I were the committee, I wouldn't put them in either, just because of how big of a lead they had on everyone. And they're just like, you see this? You see that this is the ACC title game. You see that window. Now, I want to know how hard I have to throw this to break that window. Like absolutely ridiculous throwing away. Like they absolutely trashed their season. I mean, everything they worked for is crazy. No, yeah, they're out. The Big Ten championship should be fun. Penn State, Oregon, both those teams are pretty much a lock. Thing is, if Clemson beats SMU, then Clemson and SMU are both probably in. But if SMU wins, Clemson's out. And then there's still a chance that Miami could slip in. Not a good chance, but there's a chance. So if you look at it, someone's got to win the Big 12. That's the tough one. Someone's got to win. No one wants them to win, but someone has to win. It's probably going to be Arizona State. Though they will have to get through, I believe, they have to get through Iowa State. That doesn't even make sense. So Iowa State and Arizona State is the Big 12 championship. Someone's got to win. It's probably going to be ASU. Mostly by Cam Scatabo. Someone spell it out for me. It's Scatabo, right? Scatibo. For real. It's going to be so awful. Like that game, whatever that game is, like Georgia right now is currently slotted. It's like, oh, great. So Georgia gets to beat up on a Big 12 team. The game came back. The Bills lost a yard by running 1 yard backwards. This game's awful so far. 2 minutes to go before the fourth quarter begins. Josh Allen dumps it off to that guy. I didn't even see the number. It's probably like Khalil Shakir, Mac Hollins, maybe. I'll go for about 5 yards, 6 yards. Oregon, obviously the favorite coming in the Big Ten. Thing with the Big Ten is that Penn State can't be 3. So either Penn State can't be 3 or Oregon can't be 1. Like one of them is going to drop out of the top 4. They're probably going to land at 5, but one of them has to drop out because of the whole rules. I'll go over them in a second because I wasn't completely clear about what the rules were until I watched that video that Kirk Herbstreit made. Khalil Shakir will make a catch. He'll come shy of the first down by about 2 yards, 4-yard play. So 4th and 2, the Bills will punt it away back to San Francisco. So the rule is that the top 4 seeds in the college football playoff belong to the 4 highest ranked conference champions. So in this case, chances are it's going to be the Big Ten. That'll be Oregon. Say Oregon wins. SEC, say it's Texas. Group of 5, say it's Boise State. And then the SEC, give it to Georgia. Actually, sorry, give it to Texas. So we've got Texas, Oregon, Boise State. It's 3. Then it's either going to be the Big 12 or SMU. So which at this point, it's going to be SMU, most likely. SMU or Clemson. But if Clemson wins, then it's probably Arizona State might somehow manage to get the 4th spot. By some miracle that they're going to give to some random team who makes it into the quarterfinals, Arizona, they might get to beat up on Arizona State. But so then it would be those 4, and then the Arizona State, say, because technically they're not that high ranked, they'll end up sliding conveniently into the 12th spot because they'll be ranked wherever they're ranked. And if they're ranked outside of the top 12, then they'll be the 12th seed. So each conference champion does make it in, but only the 4 top seeded get those top 4. The 5th ranked conference champion slides anywhere. Does the SEC get more than 3 teams in? I don't think there's a number. I think they are allowed to have Tennessee, Georgia, and Texas all in there. And I really wish Alabama wasn't, but I feel like Alabama will get in there probably, and South Carolina might actually too, especially if we see a loss within there is a way that South Carolina slips in. I read it earlier. There's one possible scenario that Miami slips in, and there's one possible scenario that South Carolina slips in. But it's like very rare. Really bad throw by Brock Purdy, hits the floor at the feet of Juwan Jennings. So I would say it's definitely possible that multiple SEC teams makes it in. Definitely possible that multiple Big Ten teams making it as well. Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon being the top 3 there. Big 12 is only going to have 1 because they're just really bad. Notable losses week 3 at the Rams. Oh, I looked too late. 24 seconds to go before the fourth quarter begins. Purdy under center. Hand off to Mason. Will go for about 3 yards, bring up 3rd and long. It's just gonna be one of those games, isn't it? I'm gonna sit back down. I'm old. It would have to be same for Miami. Like there's a way, but it's like everybody that's supposed to win loses, and everyone loses basically. Then Miami can slip in by like a mirror. It doesn't make sense to me how Alabama's still there. Like that's a problem I have, is that the college football committee is so in love with Alabama. Alabama's lost 3 games. Like Miami should by default be above South Carolina and Alabama. Don't give me any of that nonsense about, but Miami lost 2 to the ACC. Well, Alabama didn't lose theirs to the SEC, but they lost. They did. They lost to Oklahoma. They lost to Tennessee. They lost. Then they lost to Vanderbilt. That's 3 SEC losses. Correct? That's 3 SEC. How is Alabama still there? Like the college football committee frustrates me because they're like, yeah, you know what? First, we're going to slide Alabama in instead of Florida State. And then this time, just because, we're going to slide them in instead of Florida State just because it makes for better television. And then this time, it's like, okay, so the number 1 offense in all of college football who has the chance to put on like the greatest show in a college football playoff ever, and you're instead throwing in Alabama. That depends. Who are you? So it just doesn't make sense to me how Alabama could slip in. Like they've lost 3 games to the SEC. Miami's lost 2. Miami is probably one of the best offenses that have been in college football in quite a while. Like they have one of the most high-octane offenses that you've seen. And they're getting snubbed because of Alabama. Alabama, in all 3 of their SEC losses, they have a worse record than Miami and a worse inter-conference record as well. Like that's ridiculous to me. Like South Carolina, they're probably not going to make it in. They need a miracle. But Miami, that one doesn't make sense. Like, why is Alabama ahead of Miami? That one confuses me just ever so slightly. Like, you understand, because Alabama should not be there. They do not deserve to be there. They have not earned the right to be there. Go Bills. I'm a Dolphin fan. Yeah, no. Yeah, this game's over. Pepper, what's up? You made it. Third and 5. Deebo Samuel. No, wait, that's not Deebo Samuel. He changed his number. Purdy is stripped, and Buffalo will recover it. We'll see what happened there. Looked like it might have been a forward pass. That's kind of close. We'll see where they put it. Oh, no. I don't think he did. That's all good. You just got to come back. Next week, we're going to be on Thursday Night Football for Lions and Packers. So turn into that one. But it's going pretty well. I mean, it's an awful game. Buffalo's absolutely destroying them. And they just picked up the strip sack there because Brock Purdy just lost the ball. Like, it just slipped right out of his hands. one of two teams with a takeaway in every game this season. The Buffalo Bills. That's crazy. So Buffalo set up with fantastic field position, basically guaranteeing another score. Yeah, that one's going to be a good one. Unlike this one. I got stuck with this one because I didn't want to commentate on the Dolphins losing because I knew that was going to happen. And then I had absolutely zero interest in watching the Broncos beat the Browns. Watch it be the best game. But I don't want to do that one. So there's too many men on the field in San Francisco. So Buffalo will just get even closer. Yeah, I mean, it's an all right game. Buffalo's winning. I mean, Buffalo's going to clinch the playoffs right here. Right now, they have 15 minutes left to play, and they need to hold off on basically what's already a 25-point comeback because they're going to score here. Most likely a touchdown the way that their offense has been playing. It doesn't matter, dude. I've given up. I've given up hope. I'm an Eagles fan. Good as a fan, yeah. It's been so good for you, hasn't it? Yeah, I'm probably I think I'm kind of half Eagles fan, half Packers fan. I'm so tired. I'm an Eagles fan now. See, I'm wearing green, not Jets colors, Eagles. The Bills are going to clinch the playoffs today with this win. Pretty much guaranteed. 2nd and 9, Shakir in motion. Allen drops back to pass. He'll throw to Knox inside the 10. That'll go for a first down about the 7-yard line. Go Lions. Last I checked, you weren't a Lions fan. He's a fake Lions fan, Pepper. That was a good throw by Allen. Put it right in between his numbers where only he could get it. And a sideways arm, too. In the snow. Aren't they all? And Snow Angels from Dawson Knox. Josh Allen, 13 of 17 for 148 yards and 2 TDs. They're all fake Lions fans. What about that one guy who purchased, one 90-year-old guy who purchased tickets, season tickets, every season and went to every home game for 60 years? What about him? Was he a real Lions fan? 2nd and goal. Yeah. You're a secondary Lions fan. 2nd and goal. The Lions barely beat the Bears. Yep. You guys get the face off. We're commentating on it. So, you guys can both come on over here for Lions Packers. It should be a fun one. If I'm alive. I mean, it's 5 days. Got a busy week. Josh Allen's just going to run it in himself because he doesn't even care. And touchdown Buffalo. He just waltzes into the end zone. He could have walked and no one would have caught him. So the Bills will go up 24 with an extra point 25. Looks too easy. I mean, Josh Allen he walked in. Yeah. I mean, there's no chance anyone was catching him. He walked in. I mean, and the 49ers are finding themselves thoroughly embarrassed in this one. Because the snow is covering the field. Extra point is good, man. The snow is getting much, much better right now. Much harder. My Poyer Bills jersey. Poyer is a Dolphin now, and he is so bad. He was still winning the Bills games. He's still winning the Bills games, even when he's on the Dolphins. Oh, all right. Yeah, I mean, we were talking college football for a bit there. Now my Wi-Fi is down. Just a really bad game. But in general. So Ohio State lost. Speaking of games, it's the game. Ohio State lost it. Wish Poyer's doing better. He's so I spent the entirety of the Packers game I thought you were an experienced veteran. He was so good in Buffalo. He keeps just ramming himself into a wall. I'm like, what are you doing? Just tackle. Talking to NBA now. The Bucks with the K. No, Bucket. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Man, y'all, 341. I don't want to hear it. It's 4 o'clock. I don't want to hear it. 4 a.m., not p.m. So yeah, college football is looking pretty much over. Mountain West Championship. It could be interesting. I mean, you never know. Boise State might actually lose this one. That would be stunning. That would be the end of Boise State's run and probably Ashton Jonty's Heisman run as well. I honestly don't understand the hype around Travis Hunter personally, because I've seen him play. It's not all that. I get it. He catches touchdowns, and he's also a defender. Wow. And you know what I call that is one really tired player. He's good. He's not Heisman level. I've seen some Colorado games, and I've been wildly unimpressed. With him, with Shedeur Sanders, I've seen nothing. I'm okay, they're talented. They're not number one pick talented. Josh Allen becomes the first quarterback in NFL history with a touchdown pass, a rushing touchdown, and a touchdown catch in a single game. If that's not MVP, I don't know what is. I mean, that's kind of a crazy stat right there. Deebo Samuel continues to try and breathe life into the 49ers, and he fumbled! Who's got it? Buffalo says they have it. Buffalo has it. And it's about to be 42-10. And I'm going to fall asleep right here. And Deebo Samuel fumbles on the return after getting nailed. Oh, just helmet to ball. Beautiful. Cole Bishop did everything he was supposed to do. Yeah. All right. See you, Pepper. Bye. Yeah, go finish him. All right. See you, man. See you on Thursday. No. Yeah. Packers fans, get out of here. Yeah, you guys got your revenge last week pretty fairly. What an awful game. That'll bring us to another commercial. There's still 11 minutes left in this game. 11 minutes of watching the 49ers lose. This is great. Any questions or anything, just, type it. Any discussions, I don't care. I'll even do it through the commentating. That's I'm incredibly bored. This is almost as bad as Broncos Saints. Very close. That fumble almost put it over the line. Very nearly put it over the line with that fumble. Well, There's butterflies on the commercial. Texas and Georgia in the SEC title game. I'm an Arkansas fan for a year. Still got basketball. Actually, wait, you still have softball. I'm not actually sure you do still have basketball. Illinois loss was not great. Oh, no, you guys have the Canes next. Yeah, you guys should win that. Canes are really bad in college basketball this year. I don't know what happened because they were kind of decent last year. They were good the year before that, but they've lost 4 straight games to Drake, Oklahoma State, VCU, and Charleston Southern. Okay, that should be a pretty easy win for the Razorbacks because Miami has been like really bad. Miami hasn't won, like only won twice in all of November. You guys won 5 times. I mean, you got some winnable games on there. You got UTSA, Central Arkansas, North Carolina A&T. That's a real thing. Oakland. Yeah, there's really only I think Miami probably is your second biggest challenge in December, along with Michigan probably as well. Yeah, Bills players have ski masks on the sideline so they can see. There's always baseball. You guys are baseball. There's a penalty on Buffalo. They're doing like a statistic on Deion Dawkins, but I don't get it. two average yards aligned from left guard. Furthest in NFL since okay. So yeah, Buffalo won. 1st and 20 coming up for the Bills after the penalty. That's how bad it's not. I mean, you can see it on the camera. There's it's really coming down. Handoff to Ray Davis, who's got a nice hole. He's plowing through the snow for a nice gain there of 9, bringing up 2nd and 11. It looks cold. Second and 12. Coming up for Buffalo. I left way too much blank space there. That's crazy. I just kind of drifted. 2nd and 12. It's what happens when it's 4 in the morning. 2nd and 12. Handoff. Ray Davis. Ray Davis going nowhere. Actually, got a few yards. Gets 3. 3rd and 9 coming up for the Bills. Who is your favorite commentator? Comment down below. Who is it? Who's your favorite commentator? Present day, like NFL. No, don't go deep like with basketball or something. Don't say don't go deep. Just go like NFL. Who do you Darth Vader helmet? That's kind of cool. Favorite commentator? You and Joe Buck, Troy Kirkherbstreit, Al Michaels, Joe Tessitore. I'll take Joe Tessitore as an answer. It is 29 degrees in Buffalo and snowing this hard. That is crazy. 2nd timeout for the Bills. 3rd and 9. Bills have a 25-point lead. 10:23 to go. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did I just miss the quarterback swap? Kind of looked like that was Mitchell Trubisky. If you have a favorite commentator, comment down below. I know my favorite. Mostly because of his voice. He's got a great voice for this stuff. Just NFL. Kirkherbstreit does Thursday Night Football for Amazon, so that's why I count Herbstreit. I like Kirk Herbstreit. He's got the dogs. 3rd and 9 for Buffalo. Mitchell Trubisky. It is Mitchell Trubisky, and he'll be swallowed up for a loss of 1. John Madden was great. All-time legend. No, my favorite has to be Kevin Harlan. I just love Kevin Harlan because he always is on the Dolphins games. I really like Kevin Harlan's voice. It's Kevin Harlan alongside Trent Green, live from Miami Gardens, Florida, as the Miami Dolphins get set to host the Buffalo Bills. Down on the sideline, it's Melanie Collins with news on Tua Tagovailoa and his concussion protocol. Because that is all the reports are ever about. 49-yard field goal for Tyler Bass. The kick is up. It is no good. And Buffalo misses a field goal, so they don't get another score off of the kickoff fumble. San Francisco takes over. 9:34 to go here in the game. Down by 25. Do I have my Kevin Harlan impression? Kevin Harlan and Trent Green live from Miami Gardens, Florida. Or, wherever. Today he was in Minnesota. No, he was in Atlanta. Yeah, he was in Atlanta today. He really is. It's crazy. He's constantly concussed. I would know. Live from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, it's the Atlanta Falcons hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. That's how he says it. He says it Los Angeles, which is why I say Los Angeles sometimes. Yeah, I just like listening to his voice. Like, don't even have to actually listen to what he's saying. You just, I'm Kevin Harlan, and this is my partner, Trent Green. We're here live from Atlanta. Like, wow, his voice is crazy. Like, he can make 4 interceptions sound good. Kirk Cousins has thrown 4 interceptions in this game, but they still have 13 points. What? But it, sounds good. He can take the worst game, like the Washington Commanders have a 28-point lead, but the Titans have officially scored a touchdown. Congratulations to Tennessee. Brian Callahan is really putting a drive together. You do realize they're losing by 24 points, right? Just pick a game, and Kevin Harlan can make it sound good. And Matt Eberflus is going to get fired for this, but guess what? It's better for the Bears organization, and Caleb Williams is going to have a real grand old time with wherever his new head coach is. It's very possible that his new head coach is on the other side of the sideline. He's over with Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, might be headed over as the new head coach of the Chicago Bears. Like, he manages to turn that from Matt Eberflus getting fired to talking about Ben Johnson in 2 seconds. It's going to fucking crazy. Then who will Jerry Jones get? You guys going to get Ben Johnson? I really do think you guys should get Bill Belichick just so you can get rid of Jerry Jones as your general manager. And the 49ers uniforms look a little more white than they did at the beginning of this game because of the snow. Joshua Dobbs is warming up on the sideline as Brock Purdy might get benched. Purdy dumps it off to wow, he just fell. The 49ers don't even seem like they're trying anymore. Great game, guys, great game. Kyle Shanahan. I think Kyle Shanahan might find himself in the need of a job if he doesn't pull out a winning record, because this is looking like quite the struggle for San Francisco this year. With Deshaun Watson. 2nd and 13. Jameis the interception machine Winston. And that went absolutely nowhere. The 49ers are basically quitting. They're running the ball and throwing dump downs. With Trent Green, they're 49-28 with 26 points per game, 136 rush yards per game. Without him, they're 3-7, 20.4 points per game, and 90 rush yards per game. This is his second game inactive straight. It's including postseason since 2020 with those numbers. He's been huge for San Francisco. Without him, they're really struggling. 3rd and 14. I know. And it's dropped by Deebo Samuel. 4th and 14. And the 49ers are punting. So the Bills will get the ball back. And Mitchell Trubisky will run the ball 10 times. And then hopefully the 49ers will do the same thing so we can be out here, out of here within the hour. So 4 minutes. Ray Davis time. Yeah, just hand the ball off. I feel like Ray Davis has been getting too big of blocks, though. Like, just get... He's been getting, like, chunk plays in this game. Like, normally he's pretty, like, 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. But this game has been, like, 10 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards. San Francisco's defense just can't get a stop. And Bills will try to return this one. It's a good return. It's Covington, and he's gone. And that's a punt return for a touchdown to add to Buffalo's resume. There's a flag. That's awful. Of course there's a flag. There's always a flag. And that was a beautiful punt return. They're shoveling snow on him. Snow Angels. It's not going to count, but Snow Angels. Good return, though. Hey, the Lambeau Leap in Buffalo. It's looking like it's going to be on the Bills. I got a feeling. He hasn't been good. He's holding on Cole Bishop, which will wipe away the touchdown. But hey, we saw it. We saw the celebration. He knows he did it. Josh Allen not thrilled about the holding penalty there. The Bills fans enduring the weather to be here. I don't understand Bills fans. Like, yes, let us take all of our shirts off and jump on tables in snow. Because that's logical. All right. Someone give me a prompt and I can make it sound better with Kevin Harlan. Just any prompt. Just say something sports related. Why do I hear stuff? I'm not seeing a prompt. It doesn't have to be creative. Oh, wait. Star Wars trailer. Not sponsored by Disney Plus. That should be interesting. Nah, that's fair. Not wear a coat in Miami in the summer. Well, it's okay if you're wearing the right coat. Like, I have a blue jacket that I always wear. It's like a really thin blue jacket that you can just like put on, roll up the sleeves, and it's more of like a fashion statement at that point. It doesn't actually warm you up. The reason why is because you got it in Florida. Come on, I need a prompt to use Kevin Harlan's voice on to keep me distracted because this game's so bad. I'm here for it. We're staying for it. But man, I wish they would run this clock. Hoping everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I know mine was very tasty. How was yours? It was delicious. Oh, that's creepy. There's Ray-Bans of technology. Yeah. Bye. I agree. Personally, I am underrated. Eat the snow. And the Bills fans are eating snow because that's something they do. I'm much better when it's like a close game. I'm really focused, but this one is it's like Broncos Saints all over again. It really is. It's the exact same score right now. If the Bills get a field goal, it's the exact same score. Actually, no, the Broncos scored 33. It's worse. It's a worse game than Broncos Saints. It didn't feel as bad because the Saints were just stuttering for the entire game. There was just no action. Hand off to Ty Johnson, who takes a shot at the end of that one. Flurry of troubles. Juwan Jennings slipping on the ice. That guy face planting in the snow. Ricky Pearsall flat out just falling. Like he just fell down. And then Brock Purdy just saying, here, Bills want the ball. Then, of course, Deebo Samuel dropping it. So many players dropping it. I mean, Kyle Juszczyk dropped it. It'd be fourth time in history losing by 25 plus points in back-to-back games. Wow. All right. I formation. Just run the ball. Can they just like not stop them? Yes. First down. Let's go. Just, love being here with you guys, but this clock, come on. San Francisco 49ers remaining scheduled. They got the Bears, the Rams, the Dolphins, the Lions, and then the Cardinals to close out. Only 2 more road games left. One of those in sunny South Florida, and the other in the desert of State Farm Stadium. That is Arizona. Yeah, they're going to lose to the Dolphins. They're going to lose to the Cardinals because the Dolphins have to win out. They're going to play hard. They're going to beat the 49ers. They're going to win that one. Beat the Cardinals. They're going to lose to the Cardinals, lose to them. They're probably going to lose to the Bears next week too. Yeah, it's not looking great for this team. The Bills, maybe. There's definitely a chance. I have an incredibly busy week this week. It's crazy. I'll be running on a total of 3 hours of sleep. Not sure it's going to be more like 6, which isn't that bad. Second and 9. Trubisky rolls to his right. It's completed, and he stays in bounds. Third and short. Well, third and mid. Third and like 3 or 4, I would say. Keeps the clock rolling. We're almost down to 5 minutes, and it's looking like we're going to be out at the normal time. 4:30. Please, please, please. Let me go. Third and 5 coming up for Buffalo. Please get a first down. I beg of you. Can we cancel the 2-minute warning? I mean, please. Somebody needs sleep. Frosty the Fantasy Snowman. Josh Allen. I won fantasy because I made some really questionable decisions that paid off way more than I thought they would. The Bills have the Rams and the Lions, which are their only challenges, and then they have the AFC least and the Patriots, Jets, and then the Patriots again, because who doesn't love playing the Patriots and winning back-to-back? No, like seriously, just cancel all the commercials. Just keep playing. Just run the ball. 3rd and 5. Buffalo's out of timeouts. Yay. It's 3 less stoppages. Bills are subbing 3 players. Trubisky is the quarterback. So Josh Allen's day is done as of this drive, earlier this drive. I think it was last drive too, honestly. The 49ers drives are kind of meshing together because of how little they're doing. It's a shovel to Ty Johnson. Oh, no, it's Ray Davis. And he gets the first down, but he slides. That was hilarious. He slid like 6 yards. That would be a funny way to stop the clock. Just first and 10. Bills keep this clock rolling, and hopefully the 49ers will not touch the ball again. And we'll get out of here with some sanity remaining of watching the Bills clinch the AFC East. So the Buffalo Bills are about to be AFC East champions again. Hand off to Davis. 6 yards. Slow down. Get another running back in here. Just go slow. Please. Don't score too fast. Yeah, it's weird. I'm rooting for them to go slower to go faster. You only need 4 yards. You don't need 30. Hand it off to the fullback, to Reggie Gilliam. Gilliam? Second and 4. 5 straight. Yes, I'm aware. Hand off to Davis, who plows ahead for about a gain of 2, 3rd and short coming up. Hey, I say we go for it on 4th down. Bills offense, 58% of passing yards gained after the catch, 3rd highest in the NFL. They're just showing random statistics. The Bills haven't passed the ball in like 10 minutes. Like, here's some random statistics about the Bills while the commentators are bored. 3rd and 1. Josh Allen under center. Oh, sorry, that's Mitchell Trubisky. Ray Davis gets the 1st down. Nice. Keeps the drive rolling and the clock, more importantly, also rolling. This will take us to the 2-minute warning. We don't have to stay here longer. This game really is just really bad. I mean, I kind of am enjoying it more than I would have ever enjoyed Dolphins-Packers, because Dolphins-Packers would have just been me doing this throughout the entire game, just this. And then tomorrow would have just been awful. It would have been like probably worse than this, because I don't want to watch that. So I considered doing a poll for Chargers-Chiefs or Packers-Lions, but I like Packers-Lions better. We've already done Chargers games. We've already done Chiefs games. We have not yet seen the Packers or the Lions, now that I think about it. All right. So since this is the 2-minute warning, I'm going to use this time to wrap up. Thank you guys so much for coming out, stopping by. If you've been here even for a minute, really appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the game more than I did. Yes, I really hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, Packers-Lions, Thursday Night Football. It's gonna be a really great game. Thank you. Thank you very much. Or thank you very much. The words of Elvis Presley. And the Bills are taking a knee. Don't call a timeout. Yeah, all right. That's it. So the Buffalo Bills will walk away with this one with a 35-10 victory, sealing the AFC East title, and the Bills will lock up a playoff spot and a top one at that. The potential for a first-round bye. They have the tiebreaker over Kansas City. That is huge. It's looking like Buffalo's in a pretty good position heading into this playoffs. They've looked more promising than they ever had before, which is surprising considering coming into the year, their expectations were extremely low. The clock has hit 40, and the Bills will take a knee. We're here to the final second. We'll count down at 10. Thank you guys so much for coming out. It means a lot to me. As always, God bless. So the Buffalo Bills have clinched their 5th straight AFC East title. We'll see you next week. Thursday Night Football, Packers and Lions. Yeah, thanks so much for coming out. My name is RSquared. We'll be there later. We'll count down once it hits the 10, and then I'm clicking the end stream button. I am out of here. All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ball game. The Buffalo Bills win 35-10, clinch an AFC East title. Thank you guys so much for coming out. See you guys next time in Western New York. The blizzard is over. Bye.